Yes, Spurs fans, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Hopefully, everybody's having a good start to their weekends. A great way to start off the weekend, of course, is another Spurs friendly and one of the very last Spurs friendly. Kind of feels like the last one. There is going to be a behind closed door training session / scrimmage game, I believe, tomorrow. Hopefully, we can do a watch along for that as well. But this is going to be a big one. This is where the fans are now coming back into the stadium. They're able to see the players, see some of the new ones, of course, with beautiful Marco Senesi right on the front page there of the lineup cover for you guys. But this is a great opportunity for us to maybe get some glimpses as to any changes, maybe in some of the developments with De Zerbi and his play style, or maybe some different players now in the system. We get some fresh looks at them, of course, too. Now the fans are kind of given that reminder, right, that the season is only a week away. We are getting started here. This is the very casual, maybe soft opening to the season, if you will, with a nice friendly. It gets a decent Hoffenheim team who actually finished decently high in the Bundesliga, I believe like 5th or 6th last season in Europe. So they're definitely a little bit on the up compared to maybe some previous seasons. I think this is a decent enough opponent to come up against us. I liked the Getafe game, actually, even though they were absolutely shithouses and were pretty much just taking us down at every moment. They felt like a good opponent to come up against. And I think Hoffenheim, too. Looking forward to it, Dave. New players in the stadium. Just love to see it. Spurs are back, baby, and a week away from the season.
Yeah, look, first of all, it's good to be back. Let's see how long I last sitting in this chair. But no, look, it's good to see the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium open again, Jack, and the football fans flooding in. You know, I've seen clips and that of people piling in, and everyone seems to be excited. And yeah, look, I think it's just a reminder. The season starts next weekend against Brentford. You know, it's come round quick enough. But look, I think heading into today's game, I think I'm okay to an extent with what Kinski has shown in pre-season. I'm okay with the build-up play and how we've defended across the course of pre-season. Same with the midfield. Again, it's just what I'm looking at today is that forward line. Mikey Moore's been given another opportunity. You know, there's been rumoured about a loan sort of being in the waiting, but De Zerbi doesn't really want to let him go until we bring in wingers. So again, you know, this is another massive chance for Mikey Moore to maybe showcase what he can do here. You know, I think he's maybe let himself down a little bit this pre-season. I thought it was a pre-season. If he came in fit, firing and ready, he could really take a chance and, you know, take one of these winger spots. You know, it'd be interesting to see how Richarlison gets on today. You know, he's had chances pre-season and he's missed the majority of them. Matisse Tell is probably the only sort of shining light this pre-season in that forward line. And it's just what is slightly annoying heading into the season is that we still haven't fixed our biggest issue, which is that front line. It's still taking time. We're taking our time over trying to get signings. Now, that's not all down to Spurs' fault. I presume they probably would have had Savino in the door by now if Man City would have played a bit of ball with us. But look, today's another opportunity, you know, right 1 week ahead of the season. If we don't produce anything out of that forward line today, I don't want to hear anyone after 90 minutes sit there and Dave, oh, it's only pre-season. We're 1 week away from a season. They should be fit, firing and sharp right now. So let's go. Let's see what they have to offer.
In terms of the forward line, I would definitely say maybe it's the case that De Zerbi just feels like he has to play Mikey Moore because he pretty much has no forwards to pick from. Like Tell has just been rolled in, week out for every single game. I think you and I have been joking. Tyler's been joking. Like, do we even really have a front three that we can actually put in the starting 11? Is there any rotations that we can make? I wonder if that's part of the reason why Mikey Moore is in this team tonight. Not any disrespect to him, but I think he is just almost like a needed body practically.
Look at the bench. Who is there to come on in the forward line?
Yeah. So that's
no
just
recognizable names there.
And I know people, it's been a huge split, right? I mean, I guess, Dave, this week, you know, I've been under a little bit of heat because I've been starting to get pretty worried about the lack of forward signings, getting some frustration. There are people that share that with myself, and then there are people that are telling me to calm down, rightfully so, because sometimes we do overthink things or always think about Tottenham Hotspur 24/7. But then there are times like this when then I'm kind of reminded, I'm like, De Zerbi is playing Mikey Moore, in my opinion, only because he feels like he kind of has to, because there are pretty much no forwards to be able to pick from. And you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of the fans. Their first, you know, glimpses of the new team, the new shirt, new manager, of course, you know, in the dugout after some training over the summer. It's just that it would be great if we did have maybe one of the forward signings already locked up by now. I've seen some movement in the Gakpo areas, it looks like. Maybe that's moving along sooner than the Savino one because it looks like personal terms have been agreed. I think we know with Savino, he wants to come to Spurs, so I assume there's no issue with the personal terms there. It's just that, yeah, I think it would have been great actually to have at least one of these forward signings, please, through the door for this game alone.
The thing is, Jack, and then if we can, we'll have a quick conversation around Mike, maybe Archie Gray at right back and captain again today. But the reality is, like, people can sit there and say, oh, calm down. Like, the reality is, going into this season under the Zerbi, what I've seen from, the back line up to the midfield and stuff, I don't think we're going to go in for another 17th place finish. I think right now you're looking at mid-table. But, you know, where I don't get on board is when people say, calm down, relax, there's still time. We're 1 week out from a season. People said, relax under Ange Postecoglou, it's just pre-season. And some of the frailties we've seen in pre-season, aka the defence, was a big problem heading into the season. Under Thomas Frank in pre-season, we had the lack of ability to be able to create chances and score goals. That continued all season long into the season. I keep saying it, but I think it's an outdated view. I do. I think in the old days, where players were coming back in at the start of the first few weeks trying to lose pounds and stuff, because they've been out, enjoying their summers and that. Grant, I get it's about fitness, but these are athletes coming back in supreme condition. They're coming back in with six packs, pegs, muscles on their arms, and everything else. Yeah, I can understand a week or two to get back to the feel of the ball, get some minutes in the legs. But Richarlison isn't missing chances just because it's pre-season. That happens all season long. We're not creating chances just because it's pre-season, because people can't run and stuff. It's been a huge problem since we've sold Harry Kane and Son, and we haven't been able to rectify it. But look, hopefully today's the start. We got a game today on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hopefully it can inspire one or two, get the feeling back in them, and we can go on and have a good win today. And then all of a sudden, everyone calms down a little bit around that talking point. But look, moving into Archie Gray as well, just quickly, Jack, before we kick off.
Captain once again too. Yeah. Sorry.
Captain again today. Jed Spence has been sold to Inter Milan. I think Archie Gray is going to be your backup right back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think with the departure of Jed Spence, and also we were talking about this week, Dave, that De Zerbi did hint at the fact that Gray, they're developing him. They would love for him to be able to play more often in midfield. But they were saying with how stacked they are, he's saying he is going to be a guy that will have to play in different positions, for a while now, at least going into the season. And I didn't think we read too much into that quote at the time, because we thought that Jed Spence was going to be staying. Now that Jed Spence has, of course, gone into Milan, I think we've now maybe seen that. I don't know. Maybe there's a hint there from De Zerbi, actually, that Spence might have been on the leave there. It's not that we would have been able to guess that at the time, but it does maybe explain some of those very detailed and very long thoughts that he seemed to have about Archie Gray, that he is going to probably see him as a guy that he's just going to plug in different positions wherever need be, kind of as a fireman, really, wherever needed this season. Archie Gray has familiarity doing this. He's done this pretty much his whole time at Spurs. He did it at Leeds as well. But, I mean, you have said maybe for his own development as a midfielder, it isn't always the best if every week you don't really know what position you might be played in. It's to his credit that he's good enough to do it, but also, once again, maybe the squad planning for the season may be missing a little bit.
Like, that's the thing with Archie Gray. Like, in a way, it's a good thing that he can fill in so many positions. We've seen that at Tottenham. He's played centre-back better than what Radu Dragosten did. He's played full-back. He's played centre midfield. So it speaks to the... Yeah, exactly, Jack. And it speaks to the talent that the guy's got. That many managers are trusting him in different positions to be the guy to fill in. You don't see Bergvall playing in any of them positions. Papa Matasar, people in and around his age playing, or being trusted to fill in all them roles. So it speaks to the talent. But I just feel like for Archie Gray, at some point, that versatility needs to stop, and he needs to hone his craft in one position if he really wants to be relied on, if he really wants to develop to his true potential, and if he really wants to kick on. He has to master one position and try and grasp that opportunity and take it in the midfield when it comes around again. But up until then, as long as he's getting minutes in his legs, he'll be happy. But I would urge for Archie Gray, in order to really see him kick on, he has to try and, because we will get injuries, we will get suspensions. There'll be a game where he's thrown in there. That's when he has to grasp it. That's when he has to grab that position.
So many lovely people in the house. Kinski, Robertson, Senesi, Van Hecke will be your backline for tonight. Here, everybody. Gallagher,
Senesi,
Gallagher, Gray, and Bergvall and Tonali, some of the midfield options, but we do think Gray is going to be at right back. We have Mikey Moore, Tell, and Richarlison as your front three. Let's see what they are able to pull off today. I would say that Bergvall actually had a much better performance against Getafe. Not getting ahead of myself or anything like that, but I did see some improvement there, at least in some of his positioning, as well as also just, I thought, some of the times he did create some of the moves in that first half. I thought he actually looked quite strong. But I agree with you. I think the guy that probably has shown the most improvement very quickly this preseason has been Matisse Tell. Matisse Tell has looked better and better each game. So...
Well, he has, but that's purely because every time he gets the ball, he wants to take it to the opposition. That's your winger's job. I felt Mikey Moore against Getafe passed it back an awful lot of the time, putting the responsibility back on a Gray, back on a Bergvall, who was sort of getting down that side to help him. You know, the reason why you get your ball to the winger is because you want him to create. You want him to create the magic. Hopefully we can see that out of Mikey Moore. But Matisse Tell, you know, he stepped up, scored a good free kick. He's flashed in some lovely crosses across the box where no one's really been able to get on the end of them, even though they're very, very good crosses. And you're hoping that sort of development continues because with Matisse Tell, we've seen a player that came in here that was way off the mark of what we really needed in terms of being able to score goals and clinically assist week in, week out. And he even fell out of favour with Thomas Frank very quickly. But you're seeing a player that's put his head down, has suffered some horrific abuse from fans and that, you know, and just continues to develop. And someone like that, I've always said, I will always root for. You know, and I've always said, even if I have a negative opinion on you at the time, it's always time for you to change. Jesus, that kicked off very quickly.
Nothing we could do there. Spurs played once again with another howler in terms of the camera work. So we are 8 seconds going into it. Not my fault this time. Normally it is, I will say.
It was showing the lineup and then just went on the screen and the ball's being passed around.
That's how good De Zerbi is. He gets the game started before even the cameraman.
Oh, that's a poor giveaway from Tanali. See what Van Heck is like one-on-one here.
Good to see so many people in the house, though. Usually when we start off, you know, as regular preseason or regular Premier League games, we get to say hello to all of you, but so many people in the house already. Good numbers. Jeez. Lovely to see you guys. Hopefully everybody's keeping well.
Good to see everyone.
Hopefully, I think we sound good. I'm not seeing any issues or anything audio-wise or anybody's too quiet or anything like that, so hopefully everything's good on that department. But we're getting things started off here. Archie Gray forced all the way backwards. Kinski, what a recovery there.
And I don't want any of you to lie and say I look good either. I don't. I need a massive haircut.
Bridget Doyle saying, welcome back. Hopefully you're feeling better.
Getting there. Look, I'll just be honest. What I'll say to everybody is, you know, I had a bit of a scare this week and last week and stuff. You know, that if you ever feel something down below in your nuts, make sure you go and get it seen to straight away and stuff like that, because it could end up being the worst case scenario. You just don't know. But basically, that's what's been wrong with me. But I'm okay in that regard. Apparently, I just have fluid build up. What the doctor did say to me is only sort of real animals that tend to get that.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So, you know, that's why I've ended up getting it. But, you know, and which I found weird is I didn't get anything to clear it up. Apparently, it's just going to happen all natural. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It only really happens to the primo humans of this earth, and unfortunately, exactly. I will say too, Tonali actually. I know Tonali's looked good, but I would say the last game against Getafe, Tonali was filthy in the last game against Tonali as well. Not against Tonali, against Getafe.
I'm actually excited to see what he can be like on the big pitch today, because in the training ground you've sort of seen him spray the ball around, and
the angles are bad too.
Yeah. But in this big pitch, I mean, his passes are honestly, it's going to be like Vincent van Gogh. You know, his passing range on this pitch is going to be beautiful to watch.
Vincent van Gogh, crazy man on the pitch.
Is that how you pronounce it, or is it Vincent?
No,
van Gogh?
no, it's just he's known as being, you know, like absolutely mentally insane. Vincent van Gogh. Okay. Mikey Moore, lovely bit of skill there. Once again, Spurs play decided to miss it for us. Out for a corner.
I have to say, I'm not a fan of Mikey Moore's haircut. I think he's been badly advised there.
Well, he's young. We all make mistakes. Tonali whips it in. Van Hecke almost looked like he was able to rise for it.
Just couldn't get on the end of it.
Bergvall, good chasing back here. Good foul.
Take him out if you need to.
Referee plays on. Hoffenheim are in behind. Robertson has to look towards the back post there.
Tonali takes the corner. He's already back at right back defending. Brilliant. But good to see everybody. Hopefully you're all keeping well. Hopefully you've had a good week. Those who have been on the holidays, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Those who do have kids, you know, don't worry. They're back in school soon.
Lovely interception from Gallagher there, breaking it up. Yeah, I don't know why Tell went backwards there.
Right, Van Hecke. Let's see what we've got. Moves on to
Lazy 8. Nick, good to see you. Born with too much juice. Yep. An excess of, and he's just too liquid. He's too fluid.
Honestly,
it's like a new corporate term nowadays.
You join the gym, you get your eating right and everything else, thinking, oh yeah, it's going to make me better, lose weight, stuff like that. I feel like I've had more complications doing that than what I did just being fat and eating what I wanted. Anyway.
Yeah, it's overrated. Bergvall, lovely spray out
Good
wide.
ball. Good pace on that one as well. Van Hecke. Thank God Van Hecke and Bergvall don't play beside each other. It'd be very confusing. Matisse. Go on, Matisse. Go on, Matisse. That's it. Well done. Picks up a throw, and that's what we want. Get the ball, drag us up the pitch. Wonder if there's anyone in the chat have a Matisse Tell number 11 shirt. Let me know.
I'm getting a huge soft spot for him.
Nearly shirt worthy, Jack?
No, not there yet. After what they did to us the last 2 seasons.
Oh, what is that from Robertson? All he had to do was clip that. Oh, not Robert. Is it Robertson? Yeah,
it was Robertson. He overhit it for
that
sure. Another cross into the box for Charleston on his own in there. Bergvall. Ooh, lovely turn from Bergvall.
Right, Mikey. Back to Archie. Archie across to Van Hecke.
Van Hecke, nice pass out wide to Mikey Moore. He's got time here. He's cutting inside.
Mikey Moore! Oh, lucky. That's much better from Mikey, though.
Really
that's
good.
That's what we want to see, Jack. Nice and direct. Take the game to the opposition.
Took his space really well there. Just really lacking a power on the shot there. Kept it on the ground. But really good job of taking the space.
Whoever's inside that stadium today is going to get unbelievable sunburn.
Lovely play from Tonali there. Kabak, former Liverpool player. Oh, lovely play from Tell. Robertson!
Oh! Was that Robertson on the cross? That was an unbelievable ball in. Richarlison's so close to it. It's a good, bright start by Tottenham, keeping Hoffenheim penned back in their half, putting ball after ball into the box. It is coming if we keep this up.
Nice to see a fast start.
Start as you mean to go on, isn't that what to say? Better than sitting off everybody for 20 minutes, isn't it? And finding your way into the game like we did on the fucking Finding Frank.
Finding Frank. Still trying to find him. Mikey Moore. Lovely play from Mikey.
Unlucky. He done the right thing trying to lay that off. Yeah.
Not shoot it. I want him to take an extra touch, see if he can come back inside.
Here we go.
Gallagher. Out wide to Tell. Play.
Just sucks them all in and then just lays it off. Beautiful.
I will say the coffee I made today, absolutely terrible.
Terrible. I thought you were just going to tell us how great it was.
Ever made. Just got the ratios horribly wrong.
Too much coffee, too little.
No, just I mean, too much coffee can. Oh, good pressure.
Lucky. Too much coffee you can sort of work with. Too little water or too much water you can't.
Ooh, they're in behind here. Clips it. Another overhit cross. Good touch from Robertson. Gets it cleared.
Oh, and an accurate pass out. Well done. Well done, Gallagher.
Good hold-up play by Gallagher. Not easy.
Yeah, he done well there.
Especially he had that Hoffenheim player right on him.
Big up, Fim Fuego. Good to see you. Brett says, looking good so far. Good to see you, Brett. Enzo, we've had to ban. I presume that's a Chelsea fan.
He just kept posting fake scores.
No. Yeah, well, that'll get you banned. It's just annoying. El Dante, go on, guys. Hope all is good. Good to see you, El Dante. Hopefully you keep well. Much running. Dark Sun G's in the building. C4DUKZA. You may actually just put in the chat, tell us what to call you. I can't pronounce that every day.
C4? I go with C4.
C4. Yeah, good choice, Jack. Citron C4. Love that.
Explosive. French press, yeah. I used to do the French press. Just sometimes I felt like it's only 1 or 2 cups of coffee. Sometimes I need a bit more than that.
Artis is already triggered by the trumpet. We haven't even opened the season yet. Big up, Artis. Can always trust you to find something to be triggered by before a ball is kicked.
Good turn by the Hoffenheim player there.
Kinski. Iceman, good to see you. DJ AK, good to see you, my friend. How are you keeping? How are you? How's the daughter? And we also have Andrew. Hi, guys. Big up. Come on, you Spurs. Good to see you. Dropkick, your teacher said. Even you said the same thing, Dave. Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, to be fair, I do say the same thing. But I'm not sitting here making it one of my concerns today, though.
Good to see Dark Sun G. He's saying it's nice to have good center back options. I mean, new center backs, new team, some of the best passing center backs of the Premier League. We're just going to see how they are defensively now.
We've gone from a world-class forward line to a shit back line to a world-class back line and a shit forward line.
Can't even call our forward line shit. We have no forwards. It's just not.
Well done,
Richie. To pick from.
Right time,
Mikey Moore. He's had a good start, Mikey.
Burst into that space. There we go.
Richarlison.
Just hold it up now. Just hold it up.
Nothing too complicated, Richie. Oh, and he falls to the
Oh,
ground.
well done,
Mikey
Richie.
Moore. And he's offside.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Or sorry, Richie Gray. He did look off. Not his fault.
Please, I can't do a season of watching him try and run about for 90 minutes.
Richie, Dave Richie's getting his early slips in. His early falls, his early slips.
I could tolerate 20,
Look at this
25
slip.
minutes here and there. I can't do 90 minutes.
Mikey's on the right. Yeah, Paul, thanks for clarifying. Mikey's on the right, Tell's on the left. We've seen Mikey play on both sides, if I'm not mistaken, this preseason. Oh, Bergval. Tell, square to Richie. Oh, Tell gets blocked.
Big up Mark P. Good to see you. Kate Rickson, also great to see you. Davey Clark, good to see you. DJ AK, he says, oh, good, mate. Have a catch up soon. That we definitely will. DYT, great to see you. Who's this on? Oh, what's this on? Spurs playing, my man. And then C4, Citroen C4, good to see you. Has upgraded to flat cap. Really appreciate that, my man. Very, very kind of you.
Good pressure from Spurs. Let me know how that French press ends up playing out there, C4.
Trouser press.
I know people are going to hate me for this. I do love the referee kits for the Premier League. The Puma referee kits. I think they're actually quite cool.
Yeah.
For once.
You know what? I have a pair of Puma shorts and they're unreal for the gym, actually.
How much of a loser would I be if I bought a referee kit because I like the Puma kit so bad?
What I will say is expect the chat to be on it 24/7 with some very witty comments.
Kinski.
Oh my lord.
Bergval saves him there. Unbelievable play from Bergval. Unbelievable.
Okay, back to being concerned about Kinski now. Back to being concerned. I was brain dead. Robertson. Come on, Matisse. Come on. Do four step overs. Show him the 5-star frog splash and let's go.
Oh, nice. Gallagher. Tonali. Whoa, class.
Oh, bosh.
The efficiency of how he just got that onto his right foot and sprayed it out to Bergval. Van Hecke. Loving the urgency. There we are. Zipping it around here, Spurs.
Come on, Matisse. Slap him with a baguette.
Skinned him.
Slap him with a baguette. Oh. Oh, lucky.
Get the baguette out.
Matisse excites me when he gets going, one-on-one.
Yeah, he used to be very stale baguette. Now he's got a little bit of water in there. It's been rehydrated, as you do.
Rubble. Right, tonight, let's just sit on the ball for a minute. Let's admire you.
There's some really good, efficient play from Spurs there. The way they were just zipping it around, and that's awful from Robertson.
Matisse Tell, I think, went and then slowed up. I think that's why he's holding up his hand there. Unlucky. 12 minutes in, the better of the possession, but still yet to really trouble that goalkeeper.
Andrew, I've got myself a navy blue flat cap. Nice one, Andrew.
Oh, nice. Jeez, I think I've got a dark green one, grey, blue, black. You name it. Big up, Andrew. How do you look at it, by the way? Feel you look better? Feel like you look like a 10-10? Let me know.
C4, that's beyond full kit wanker. Referee kit.
Yeah.
I just feel like Puma in the last year or two putting out some really nice stuff.
They contracted that guy Jim Skin to Puma now, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, he got a Jim Skin contract out of it where he has to, or Puma contract. He has to, basically, you can only really wear their clothes on stream and stuff.
Well, all I can say is I did not burn the bean. I overwatered the bean, unfortunately.
You and Jim Skin actually might have a lot in common. You like Puma, you know, good for coffee. You both love coffee.
I think his name's Jack, actually, too.
Is it? Well, there you go.
I think his name is Jack.
And he's got a brother like you do.
There we go.
Sure, it's just not you reincarnated in England.
I don't know if I have the same chin, unfortunately. He's got a chin on him. That man's got a jawline.
Yeah, really. A very, very prominent jawline.
Bauman clears it.
AK says, let's hope it's not a depressing season. We hope so. Oh, Leighton Evelyn. My man, we've missed you as well, buddy.
Oh, the
Good to
legend
see you
Leighton.
in the building.
We've got the happy clapper back in the building.
Another season of back and forth. Tartan Spurs. I really want Mikey to be a part of the first team this season. As much as I think a loan spell in Germany would be good for his development, I think he can contribute for the first team in a big way. Do you know what, Tartan? I am sort of a similar opinion. But I do think Mikey Moore has let himself down a little this preseason. You know, like when you're a youngster breaking into a side, you have to be ready to go, and you have to leave a memorable impression. You don't have the same leeway as, say, a Madison or players like that, older experienced players are, to just getting up to speed, going through the motions. You know, as a youngster, if you're not in the squad, you have to leave an impression. And I just felt like he hasn't done that this preseason. I'd argue where I do still think about is Luca Williams-Barnett, some of his through balls, some of his play. You know, I don't really remember an awful lot from Mikey Moore, and that's where I think he's let himself down, Tartan. Let me know what you think on that.
It's good to react. It's good to see you. Saying morning, boys. First 2 a.m. kickoff this season. Yeah, jeez, that's the Australians and anyone in Asia. Yeah, Dark Sun G probably getting one of his first 3 a.m.s, 4 a.m.s in the season. That's the preseason training for.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I love the fact that, you know, these players have to go through preseason, and you have fans this week starting to do their preseason.
Oh! Few chances there for Hoffenheim. It's been entertaining, actually, from both ends.
Give it to Van Heck. He was quick across there, throwing his body across. Hulzek. He's Czech Republic, isn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of one of those FIFA gems back in the past. Yeah. Hasn't really hit the potential. They also have a few former Premier League players. They have Soufal in their team, West Ham player, and then they have Ozan Kabak, who is the Liverpool signing, if you remember.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely play from Gallagher.
Oh, well done. With Richarlison. This is madness.
Oh, and then Gallagher. That's the easier part.
Jesus Christ, Gallagher. That was an easy ball.
Oh, it's only 11 p.m. in Korea. It's not terrible.
Not too bad. 11 p.m. Suppose you can have a pot noodle and some bread or something with that, Dark Soji, while watching the game.
Kinski played it all the way up to the Richarlison on the ground. Impressive pass just for Richarlison. Might have just been a stretch too far for him there.
You need
good pressure there, Richie.
Package. Get after that, Gallagher. Good pressure. Let's go, Richie. Oh, good pressure.
Lovely play. Gallagher tries to break it up there. Unfortunate. Big spray out wide.
Static there. Well done, Archie. You dealt with that. Someone close him down. Someone close him down.
Ben Hecka.
Well, they've just allowed him to run all the way into the box there unchallenged. I guess we're going to get more Dyer and Sanchez defending here. That's shocking. That's cannoned off the crossbar as well. But that's what happens when you don't close people down. Especially, look, just drop off. Too easy, that. Do you know what? I haven't been impressed with some of Van Hecke's defending. I do blame him for one of the goals conceded against Chelsea, where he just allowed the cross to come in.
That one
again, he's just allowed him to run at him and shoot. Any more of that, and we'd be calling them moon boots the second.
Mm-hmm.
Their manager looks like a ferocious guy.
Yeah, he looks like a Igor Tudor cousin.
Tudorich. Referee, give over. It's pre-season. He's already trying to make a name for himself. I suppose they have to go through pre-season as well, don't they? Come on, you Spurs. Them Spurs fans are going to get the head burnt off them today. I was there for... Remember when we qualified for Europa League final? I was there for the game on the weekend after we qualified from the semi-final. And it was absolutely relentless heat. Relentless.
It's good to react saying, New Zealand, Jack, come on, man. Yeah, sorry, that's poor form. Scooter.
A little slap on the wrist there, Scooter. What do we think?
Yeah, it's poor. What is Spurs play like with these cameramen? Like, why am I looking at these Hoffenheim fans staring at their phones? Like, I want to see the game.
Everyone's sharing your frustration in the chat with Spurs play. What the fuck is going on?
Like, the ball is in play half the time when they're doing this crap.
They must
Lovely from Gallagher. Good breakup of play there. Plays it out wide to Mikey.
We're seeing more of the Hoffenheim manager than we are even De Zerbi. Have we even seen De Zerbi on screen yet? That's true.
That's actually a fair point. Actually, I
don't
even know
who our manager is. This person. He thinks he's showing De Zerbi on screen, probably.
Senesi, good positioning there.
Yeah, very good positioning.
He might have been offsides, but not worth risking.
Do you know what? Their winger hasn't had the beating of Archie Gray once yet.
They've gone through the middle a few times. Both teams have, I would say. Both teams have had.
Well, you would argue Matisse Tell and Mikey Moore have had the beating of their fullbacks, whereas our fullbacks haven't been beaten yet. It's the centre that's worrying me a little.
Maybe also compared to Getafe, Hoffenheim are really trying to play football.
Yeah. We play Hoffenheim on the ranch.
Yes, but they were in a poor bit of form, I think, during that time. Last year, they did quite well in the Bundesliga last year. And they're going to be in Europe this season, where I think when we played them, they were in Europe, but they were finishing 17th or 16th like us when we played them under Ange.
Honestly, the size of me nutsack, it's like carrying around a small puppy. It's so annoying. Get out after it, Matisse. Come on. Good pressure. Go on, Gallagher. That ball just
absolutely launches it. Kinski, maybe? Well done, Van Hecke.
Archie, well done.
Good clearance.
Mikey,
foul,
well
sir.
done, Mikey.
Referee, please.
It's got to be a free.
Yellow card for Jack, 100%, Daniel.
Oh, there we are. Someone's told the cameraman who our actual manager is. We finally get to see the Zerbi. The man with the bucket hat has the right idea there. Keep the sun off the head. Geez, half our bench looks like the Hoffenheim manager, Jack. Spurs just sitting off Hoffenheim here now for a few minutes.
Yeah, I think Spurs looked the brightest in the first 10 minutes, and now it's probably been about 5 to 10 minutes of Hoffenheim.
Matisse, Richarlison on the press, forces it back to the goalkeeper. This is what we were really good at under the Zerbi, getting the ball back to the goalkeeper and pushing up on all their passing options, making them go along. We do the same here again. Can we defend it? Lucas, that Bergvall? Yeah, Bergvall back there defending over Van Hecke.
Yeah, Van Hecke way off his line. We've gone from
a bit of a lull.
Got a lot of blondes on this team. Richarlison doesn't help it.
Matisse Tell on the press. Well done, Matisse. Doesn't get the look he deserves there. Hoffenheim playing some pretty good possession-based football here at the minute.
Steve D, good to see you, Steve-O. El Dante, good to see you.
Good to see you, Steve D.
El Dante, yeah. He's saying too many players missing for us to be ready for next weekend. That's what we're talking about, El Dante. Tonali plays it off to Bergvall. Lovely. Bergvall and Tonali have looked good in this half.
Yeah. I think Mikey Moore wanted that one over the top, and Gray decided not to play it and turn back. Do you know what, though? I can't wait to see Mohamed Kudus come back in under the Zerbi. Imagine, like, some of the space that, like, Mikey Moore and Tell gets on the ball. Imagine what Kudus is going to do with that. That will be exciting, having him back. You know, last year I felt he was used as a tank down the right-hand side to pick up throw-ins and corners for Thomas Frank and set pieces. But under the Zerbi, where we're playing ball and he's got options, people running off him and supporting him, I feel like he's going to be a complete different player.
Iceman, yes, I will get on that this weekend. Thank you for reminding me. A few people have reminded me. Sometimes I just leave it a little, fantasy, leave it a little late. So, yeah, I'll get on that this weekend. Oh, lovely pass from Van Hecke. Richarlison, good hold-up play. Out wide to Mikey.
Fantasy football.
This is Archie Gray.
Good ball.
Oh, good cross.
Good cross. Maybe, it was that Gallagher. Maybe could have went and gambled on that near post there. Well done,
Richarlison. It was Richarlison in the middle there.
Good cross by Archie Gray. You got rid of that Aussie haircut?
Surely he's got it's not aerodynamic, really. It doesn't help him, especially if he's going to be a fullback running up and down the pitch. Don't want all that extra hair.
Scarecrow, good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well.
Gallagher, he's got to play Tell there.
Steve D says, biggest compliment I can give you guys is I'm in several years deep into Spurs YouTube, falling out of love with it multiple times, but always enjoy you lads. Do you
Very
know
nice,
what?
Steve. That's
I
very
really
kind.
do appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. And do you know what I tend to find? Look, a lot of people tend to sort of fall out with love with it, especially when things are going wrong on the football pitch, and stuff like that. And
Emotions
everyone,
are high and everything. Yeah.
emotions are high and people fall out and stuff like that. But you know what? And I'm guilty of it too. But I'm trying to approach the approach this year, and I did try the end of last year. Life's too short.
We're not going to be shy of opinion, Steve, but
No,
as you know, we're happy to have a conversation with people.
we're also not just not going to ram them down your
Yeah, we
throat
don't.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't just shuck away anybody or dismiss anybody. We're happy to have a good and
And of
forth
course,
back old debate.
if people disagree, please put it in the chat so we can have some more
Yep.
back and forth. That would be absolutely brilliant.
Bergvall! Good hits.
Good effort. Nothing really opened up. They dropped, and dropped off
Yeah.
him as he was marauding forward. Shot opened up. Why not have it?
I
Very,
agree
very
with you
kind
there. Like
words.
it kind of he had options, but none of them were really great or wide
Because
open.
the back line dropped off, no one engaged, so it didn't really create that space to punt that ball in, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Bit like you in FIFA last night, Jack. People back off, bosh, back in the net.
Yeah, they're not respecting me from distance. Bergvall, good hit there.
Caught that well, actually, to be fair. Corner
But yeah,
kick.
very kind, Steve D. Scarecrow saying Gakpo and Savinho cannot come soon enough. Seriously, Scarecrow's like yesterday. Oh, to the near post, top of the box to Tonali.
Oh, he didn't even
Tough
catch
angle.
it properly. Oh, I was getting so excited.
Bit of a Romero angle against Burnley.
Here we go.
Looping cross.
Oh, well done.
Penalty. Robertson hit in the face, or I think that's Senesi hit in the face. Sir,
I think he's trying to say he was clothesline there.
can't be touching him.
He's holding
Brand new
his
player.
throat. Holding his throat.
Water break, it looks like.
Oh, I thought we were done with water breaks.
Oh, I'm like, see, this is why we got to have an Argentinian in the team. They're very good diplomats with the referees. And by being good, I mean bad. They're always in their ear.
I want another look at this though. It felt like Senesi controlled it, and he got an elbow. He's claiming he got an elbow into the throat here.
Not going to say anything, but I swear to God, we better get a penalty this season.
That's bad. He hasn't even gone for the ball. Look, he's not even looking at the ball. He's looking at Senesi. Bosh. That's
Yeah,
a penalty.
you're right. Not even looking at the ball.
That's a penalty. He's gone throat. He's gone elbow first into the Adam's apple. Someone check, make sure it's still there. Can you see? Yeah, it's still
There's
there.
actually, when you think about it, some of these preseason games, I think almost every one we've been denied a pretty obvious penalty.
Yeah.
I know they're preseasons. That's why I'm not going to get over the top about it, but just something to mention. And we never got a penalty all of last season, but let's hope it's different this time around. De Zerbi's giving his instructions. No tactical board out there, just pure ball knowledge, screaming at his players, pointing everywhere. No magnets.
Opening bright 10 minutes, but we've sort of lulled off since then, haven't we?
I think first 10 minutes, mostly Spurs, good chances for Spurs. Then it was all Hoffenheim for a good 10 minutes there. They probably should have scored. And then maybe the last 5 minutes, I think we've gotten back into it. Both teams, though, playing some nice football, I will say.
Good afternoon, Neil. Good to see you.
Reps are already warming up.
Reps are warming up, yeah.
They're practicing their denial of penalties.
I'm trying to make it look so innocent. Right, do you know what? Fair enough if the referee now on the pitch sort of protests, I can't see it. There's no reason them fuckers in VAR can get away with the same shit as they do this season like they did last year. There's no way.
Tyler saying, to be fair with Bergvall, he's been playing solid. I wanted him sold. Maybe still should be sold if we get money for attackers, but De Zerbi might actually want to keep. We were talking about this with Jack on the Thursday pod, that Tell and Bergvall, you could say, are two players that maybe De Zerbi has kept around because he's so known for improving players, that maybe that is the reason he's been a little reluctant to sell Bergvall, because he feels like he can improve him. Because we have said, like, he has flashes of skill that we understand why people do really like him, because even the way he took off the ball from Kinski and saved him there, incredible skill from Bergvall. But then he does other things that you're like just baffled by in terms of his positioning. As Thomas Frank said, one of the only things he ever said that was right, bit of a headless chicken in midfield at times, but I would say he's looked really good in this half, and he looked good against Getafe. So maybe there
I
is
do,
something to say that. I thought Jack made a decent point that maybe that's the reason we haven't sold Bergwall is because De Zerbi wants to improve him.
I do hear that point, but it's preseason.
Yeah.
You know, like the caliber of players you're playing against, and you know when the Premier League comes around, he
We'll
is
see
not good
then.
enough in a Premier League midfield. Lo Celso used to start off preseason on fire. Same with Lamela. Everyone get excited. No, keep him around
Oh,
for this season, and then come the season,
lovely.
they disappeared.
Lovely play from Bergwall
Oh,
and
let's go,
Tonali out
Mikey.
wide to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore running out his defender. Gets
Good ball.
across for
Oh my lord, how
Charlison.
have both of them missed it? Richarlison and Matisse Tau. Fucking hell, what a ball from Mikey Moore.
Charlison has been inches away from a few tap-ins.
Oh, that was close. What a ball from Mikey.
He's playing
I'm just
a lot
dubious
better
on
tonight,
Bergwall.
Mikey. Maybe it's just that Spurs stadium. It's the
Seem to get more out of him when he plays here, that's for sure. What a ball that is.
Oh
How
no, he
good.
just misses it, Richie. Oh my.
Richie's more guilty than Matisse Tau. Matisse Tau is stretching, to be fair, but fucking hell.
Can't sort his feet out. His foot is lagging behind him. His foot's on 300 ping.
I think that Hoffenheim player might have got a touch which took it over Richarlison's foot. We'll have a look at that again.
It did look like his
Still
foot was
yeah.
just behind him where he should have been able to tap it in.
You are right. He was trying to sort his feet out there, which I don't understand how you're trying to sort your feet out when you're striding towards a football. But anyway,
When the direction is forward, not backwards or sideways. But Mikey's had a good start. Bergvall's had a good start. Tell started brightly. Now it's been quiet, I'd say. For Charleston, good pressure there. Tonali's been class. Good touch.
good tracking.
Oh,
Sando.
Tonali, strength there. Senesi. Good ball by Senesi.
Oh, good ball.
Good
Well
touch
done,
from Tell.
yeah.
Gallagher. Man,
Well
they have
done.
options there.
Could have moved it quicker, but pick up the free kick.
Senesi, good pick out there to Tell. Because he didn't just slam it into Tell. He actually put a little bit of cushion on it for him to be able to hold it up.
King Hodden says Frank was right about something else as well. He said we'd lose games, and we lost a shitload. Yeah.
He was not wrong.
Well, honestly, everyone should have seen it then. This guy lacks self-belief in himself.
Yeah, has De Zerbi said that at all this summer? I guarantee you one thing. We will lose games.
Well, De Zerbi walked in when we're down in the relegation zone saying we're going to win 7 out of our last 7.
Gee, the complete opposite.
He was close to it. You know what I mean? Complete opposite.
And then everyone was joking. Have you seen us play?
Honestly, I couldn't believe he opened the season with that statement last year. I was vexed by it. I couldn't believe it.
Good word. Maybe with Dave's
Actually, a good word.
Maybe with Dave's fluidity problems on the he's been reading up.
Do you know what?
Get some new vocab in for this season.
I almost turned around to the doctor and was like, you know, what I'm going through right now with the fluid, you know, that wouldn't be caused by Thomas Frank, for instance, you know, someone that, you know, just lost games week in, week out and put unbelievable stress on my body.
He's saying we've seen many of your cases of Spurs fans come in with built up frustration fluid.
I was expecting her to hand me a De Zerbi pill. Get that into you, Dave. You'll be fine. That's
poor there. That was poor. That's your guy, Artist T, the guy just shoving our own players in the back?
Watch that excitement, Dave, especially with your current condition. Big up, Neil. Good to see you. Janaza? Good name. Do you know what? Originally, all summer long, I sort of wasn't enamored with the Savinho Gakpo, and I still now I don't think it's a massive upgrade on what we've got. But the fact we haven't got anyone in, I'm willing just to take that gamble and see if they can produce more than what we've currently got.
As I said to you, we're reaching a stage where I hope that the tea lady is.
Honestly, if they announce Stu next week, Jack, as a new striker option, I think many people go, do you know what? Back off the guy, give him time, let's see what he can do. I know he's never played a professional game in his life, but why not?
Yeah,
That's where people are at. You can bring out Peppa Pig, slap a Tottenham jersey on it, and people get behind it at this point. Good ball. What can Richie do? Good layoff. Referee, they are assaulting our players.
Zero ball knowledge of a guy that no one knows about. Artistry, good one. Oh,
Yes,
Robertson! Great
Ricky!
cross from
Oh,
Robertson. 1-0 to the Spurs.
Le Pigeon!
Le
Prue,
Pigeon.
baby! Prue,
Come on, boys.
Prue. The
Once
Pigeon,
again,
that was like some of our goals last night in pro clubs, Jack. Ball across the box. You actually set me up for one very similar last night. Very similar.
once again, Spurs play was doing some side replay, side camera, and then all of a sudden we're in the opposing half, and then I see Robertson in all that space, and he's just whipping it into a free Richie. Be nice if I got to see the build-up for once, Spurs play.
And Richie got absolutely hammered in the build-up to that as well. Tonali, great touch, marauds away. Look at this. And then you're thinking some class, picks the right pass.
First time.
Robertson, first time cross, and Le Pigeon.
Good finish.
Pigeon. Prue, blood.
Good finish. Granted, if he missed that, I would have also absolutely strangled him, but great finish. Left-footed. Great cross from Robertson. Peach of a cross.
And to be honest, we could go, that's an easy finish. For Richarlison, we know that's not. So, take it. Take the finish, guys. Take the finish.
Fill her up, says Neil Shafton. Let's start filling it up. We're on the board.
Dave, I saw you in Steve's channel earlier. Oh, yes, Steve, yeah. Yeah, he was on live before we came on here for the watch-along.
Time and space for Mikey Moore here. Richarlison has been taken out. Mikey.
You, Dan. Here we go. Oh,
Gallagher, yeah. Sorry. Good defending.
He's gone out.
Also, another former Premier League player. I think this Bernardo guy, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the former Leeds United player.
Oh, no, Richarlison.
Shoulder.
Oh, no.
Just got taken out.
I think he's looking to go off here, is he?
He dislocated his shoulder?
Oh, well, I mean, he's practically carried number 21 there for about 15 yards before he decides to collapse on top of him there. I mean, that's ridiculous. Fuck me, referee. Get a grip to this game. He literally, Richarlison was running with him on his back. That, my God. I knew he was a pigeon, but I didn't believe he was a pigeon carrier, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
1-0 up, though. Feels good to be winning. It feels good. Czechia, not Czech Republic. Do you know what? That is right. Now, when I was growing up, it was called Czech Republic. So I do need a bit of, what would you say, education on this one. You know, because when I grew up, Holland, it was Holland. Now it's Netherlands and all this other thing. You need to, why is it now Czechia over Czech Republic? Let me know. Is Czech Republic just the English version of saying that country? Or?
I think so. I think countries are now switching to their language's pronunciation, like Turkey.
Well, everyone still calls Ireland instead of Era. Whatever country.
It's fair. I mean, you're welcome to follow suit. Put in a good word in.
It's just like if that's the like you know I speak English, so if that's the way I pronounce it in that language, it should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I'd say put in a word in with your representative, Steve.
I think Czech Republic sounds better than Czechia, though. Just my opinion.
I disagree. I think Czechia sounds pretty cool.
Sounds better.
Czech Republic sounds a bit boring to me.
Republic of Czechia.
When I grew up, it was Czechoslovakia.
There you go.
Woke nonsense.
Big up, Arawak. You did get here at the right time. Really appreciate you joining us. Honestly,
I think everyone knows it was two countries, Roger. It's humor, mate.
I think there's that many things that are changing. I don't know if I can get with it, Jack. I think I'm better off bowing out of this world with all the changes going on. I'm a caveman. Plain and simple, done me.
I think you have gone a little bit quieter, Dave.
Oh, Lord.
Not terrible, just I am noticing on the levels.
Reset here. Do I have time? I'll wait till halftime to reset. It'll be easier, will it? Or do you want me to do it now?
No, I think it's fine. It's just it has gone a little bit quieter.
Let me see.
Spurs building out here. Pressure from Hoffenheim. Top of the box. Clear it away, please, Archie. He does. Thank you. Oh.
1-2, 1-2.
Yep, a lot better.
Lovely.
DJK saying, not saying I'm old, but when I was around, when I was born, it was all one continent. Pangea.
Well, technically, Europe is back to one continent now. Or just one, like, big, large country, if you know what I mean. Big up, Keith. Is that Keith? Yeah, good to see Keith. Steve D. It's not a republic anymore, so regardless if it stands better. Fair. Turkey has changed also. Yeah, Turkey or whatever you call it. Turkey.
Yeah, I think it's getting quiet, Dave.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe just try to fully reset it.
Yeah.
Last 4 or 5 minutes here. Not sure if they'll do any added time, to be honest, since it is only a friendly. Dave is right by saying that Archie Gray's side has not really been attacked. Hoffenheim, once again, with a spell of possession, though. Both teams kind of trading possession, it seems like trading spells of it, but have been pretty good with the ball. Both teams attacking, front footed. Yeah, no, Dave, he's having some mic issues. So I think he's just resetting himself. Tony. Appreciate the support, though, Tony. Can't take this mediocre striker into the new season, says Steve D. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over. I mean, that's how we feel, man. That's how we feel about Richarlison, Solanke. Feel like we know them already well enough. We know what they're capable of, what they're not capable of, what their output is likely to be, and it's just not good enough for where we want to be. We want to be back challenging top 5, top 6, and it just we know we can't do it with the likes of a Richie Solanke. So we're on the same page there, Steve. Hoffenheim, whip it in. Kinski, please. Not very convincing from Kinski. Tried to punch it away. We're going to add Dave back in here. Just might take me a little bit, though. Please bear with me, everybody. I have to email the link to myself. This might take 20 years. Once again, Spurs play just panning for a whole minute on one person or one player where the ball is actively in play. Oh, nearly scoring there. It's one of my pet peeves with these camera guys. They spend 5 seconds is fine. I don't need to be looking at Kinski's nostrils for 2 minutes. When the ball is in play, and then you're missing like a whole passage of play. Like even the goal, we missed the whole buildup because of it. Jeez, amateur hour over there at Spurs play. And this is coming from an amateur himself. From amateur to amateur, be better. Back to Kinski here. Kinski playing through the middle to Tonali. Tonali's had some lovely passes tonight. Into Archie Gray. Good pass by Archie Gray. Bergvall. It's Mikey Moore. I think Bergvall took the wrong option there. That's the wrong option. Slipped as well. Mhm. Alright, now we're adding in Dave. Sorry that it took a while. Alright, Dave is back on screen.
Job.
While you do that, I'm gonna refill the coffee.
Yeah.
Once we get to I'll do it
Van
now before
Hecke.
halftime.
Archie. Oh, well done. Good play by Archie. Ball all the way back to Kinski's feet. Tonali drops in. Moves it on to Van Hecke first time. Lovely pass. Van Hecke, Bergvall, back to Tonali. What can Sandro Tonali pick out? Moves it on to Robertson. Back to Tonali. Tonali becoming the conductor of the orchestra here. One minute added on. 1 minute added on, everyone. We are getting extra time here today. Good ball by Van Hecke into Bergvall. Good turn by Lucas Bergvall. Bergvall goes for the shot. Unlucky. Didn't really have an option. I had no option but to shoot,
You don't think you could have passed that?
Nah, I'm not sure. I don't think Richarlison gave him the best run, to be honest. Oh, well done, Matisse Tal. Robertson.
Oh, just again, maybe
Delivers it
slightly
first
over.
time. Maybe he could have took a touch and waited for them to get in position there a little bit. I think he delivered that one too soon, personally.
Daniel Larson probably summing it up once again. He's saying, great football again, but of course the attack seems to ruin it.
It was just not a lot of deadly end product going forward. We're still trying to work out our connections and, players getting understandings of each other. And just again, like, sometimes lack of options, lack of quality.
But kind of like what, it's that sentiment of like you're enjoying most of the football. Like you're enjoying some of the passages of play, some of the patterns that are being made. And then once it gets to that crucial moment, just always let down. So I agree there, Daniel. Good to have you, Daniel, by the way. Thanks for watching along with us. Del Boy's happy to see Dave. Good to see you, Del Boy.
Good to see you, Del. Someone says there, do you think De Zerbi knows his best 11? What do you think, Jack?
No. I don't think he knows at all because he hasn't had any forwards to work with. Like, I think that's his struggle, too, is let's say Gakpo signs tonight or something like that. Does he feel comfortable enough to even play him in the first game of the season? We know Ange did it with Mickey Van de Ven, but it's still worth asking and questioning, like, can a guy just step into the team straight away and hit the ground running? Does he need time? De Zerbi, we know it's a complex system, but he also wants his players to be able to express themselves, so it's difficult. This is, again, why I'm not saying we needed to get all our forward signings done by now. I think that would have been probably unrealistic, but the fact that none before basically our last preseason games, I would say he probably doesn't know what his best forward line is. I do think I think Richarlison, he seems to think, because I'm not sure why Solanke isn't playing. Solanke might be injured, but I think Richarlison is probably starting number 9. I think Tell is probably in his starting 11. I think he knows certain players that he will be starting this weekend, but I don't think it's a full 11, to answer your question.
I'd be worried if he doesn't have an idea of what he thinks his best 11 is.
Is that his fault, though, or is that more the...
Well, no. It's not his fault, Jack. Like, pre-season, the way it's been organised has been a shambles. We went out to a tour of Australia and New Zealand. De Zerbi didn't want to be there. Look at the squad he bought. Look at the players we seen play out there. Then you come back here. You've got one behind the closed doors game against Getafe. You've got a game today and another one tomorrow. This whole pre-season has been an absolute shit show. When De Zerbi walked in the door last year and ended up keeping us up, they should have allowed him to conduct the pre-season he wanted to conduct so that we get the most benefit out of it, so it would actually be fruitful. But that hasn't happened. But how can De Zerbi know his best 11? He hasn't had that look at Maddison. We haven't seen Bentancur this pre-season. We haven't seen Van de Ven. Porro hasn't been slotted back in. We're still waiting, to see Kudus under De Zerbi, Kulusevski, Xavi Simons. So there's no way he can have an idea of his best possible 11. Which is, I suppose, if you're De Zerbi, highly frustrating because the club knew none of these 4 players were getting back in time, over the course of this pre-season. So they knew they had to go and get these 4 players in. And I guess where it becomes frustrating is this front line that we're relying on now wasn't good enough last year when we had to rely on them through all the injuries and stuff like that. So therefore, while you're waiting for others to get back, you need to bring in fresh players. And De Zerbi, in my opinion, would have rather have pre-season to work with them, get them up to his tactics, up to speed with what he wants them to do, and also build them patterns of playing relationship with other players that are going to be playing in and around them and off them and stuff like that, with your Gatpos and Savinos, and that hasn't been allowed to happen. We got away with it when we signed Mickey van de Ven to come in at centre-back, and I think his first game, ironically, was against Brentford. But he kicked on. He didn't need a pre-season really to get into it. It's not going to be the same for every player that walks in. Lightning rarely strikes twice. Your luck isn't that lucky. With a forward player, it's even more important you give them time to bed in and get up to speed. And, because if you're out wide, you're trying to feed Richarlison. You need to understand what runs he's going to make, where he's going to be, what balls he can handle into and what he can't, stuff like that. These are all things we haven't had time to figure out, that now we're going to use the opening 4 or 5 Premier League games to try and work that out when there's points on offer. And as you know, we are not in a position over the last 2 years to be able to give up points that easily. So that's where the frustration comes in. But look, it is what it is. We're still 1-0 up right now. Richarlison did take his opportunity. I do agree with you. I think he seems to be De Zerbi's preferred selection, in my opinion. Through the middle, I think he's just more mobile, gets on the end of things more. I would argue, though, I think Matisse Tel and Mikey Moore have been bright to a certain extent when the ball have
Mikey's
gone out their side. Yeah, we've had a couple of good crosses into the box that Richarlison and Matisse Tel or Mikey Moore maybe could have done a little bit more to get on the end of, and then you're talking about 2-3-0 right now and stuff like that. But I suppose that's our big problem, isn't it? Some days we don't create, so when you do create, you need to be clinical, and then there's other days we create volume of chances and don't take enough of them.
I think Richarlison's definitely gotten enough service today. I think on a couple of he could have done better. Maybe on a couple of moments too, the cross has been just slightly overhit and not maybe fully his fault either, but I would say he has gotten good service for the most part. And Mikey's looked bright, a lot better than he did in some of the other games, like Dave pointed out. Tell maybe actually more of a quieter performance, whereas in the other games you would say he's probably one of our best creators in the team. I'm really liking Tonali, loving everything that he does. I just find him just to be kind of like Bentancur sometimes. When he's on the ball, he's just pure class in the way that he receives it and just shifts it on. Gallagher, as always, I think breaks up play, very willing runner and presser, but on the ball, really just so safe, boring at times. Doesn't really, when he even receives it, just doesn't seem to have, again, that technical ability that some of these other guys have. Barrick Volley, I would say, is look good, bright. He's probably saved some of the guys and some of the hospital passes he received. Even this is one of the case examples.
All right, going forward too.
Like even here, I know they're showing the replay of it, but that was unbelievable play from him to save Kinski. I mean, Kinski almost scored on himself basically with that pass.
Gallagher's a huge problem of mine. I do feel like Bergvall has been more busy in pre-season than what Gallagher has been. Gallagher is not good enough as a number 10, Jack. And he's going to be our number 10 heading into the season until we can get others back that are not fit right now.
Yeah.
And he's a huge concern to me. Like, your number 10, you want him to pick up pockets of space, get on the half turn, and either feed your winger or your strikers, or if not, take the responsibility on and go and crack one into the back of the net. I don't see him playing people in all the time. You very, very rarely see him do much in possession. And even when he does get it, it's very safe. It's lay off and move again. Don't get me wrong, he works incredibly hard. But that's where we were at last year, where you had to take that. This year, we're looking to evolve. We're looking to be something a little bit different and a little bit better than what we were last year. Gallagher ain't good enough. He is not good enough in that number 10 role. He's nowhere near it. He's way off the pace.
Steve D saying, feels like this preseason has been a shop window for the players. Kind of
there's been
more
that
than really like integrating some of our... Because even some of the signings we've made, they've not played a ton. This is only Senesi's first game. Not De Zerbi's fault or even the club's fault.
Well, he went to the World Cup final, though, didn't he? So he was back there and everybody.
And with the World Cup season, you're only going to see so much of maybe your new signings. But again, maybe just one or two of the forward players would have been great to just get a glimpse of. Kind of like we did with Kudus, remember? Like during preseason, we got to see a lot of him under Thomas Frank, which was nice. Obviously, again, that wasn't a tournament summer or anything like that. So you were, of course, able to get it done. But it's kind of what the excitement was about getting maybe one of the forward signings done nice and early, was that we then got to see kind of the new player in the front line. And that's what we've been desperate for a while now, which is more quality in the front line. And I know they're going to get one of these deals done, if not both, the Gakpo and the Savinho one, but that's just the point. Would have been great just to have at least one of those already kind of playing a lot this preseason, if you will, which would have been, I guess, Savinho then, because I think Savinho would have been the one. I'm not sure if he traveled for the World Cup.
I'm just not sure they're the right players to really take on the responsibility.
No, neither am I.
These players to come in. And like even more so now that I'm thinking about it, with Gallagher being redundant in that number 10, you need your winger and your striker to pick up even more slack. Even more.
Take some other comments. Chopped Cheese, good to see you, Chopped Cheese. Hopefully everything's good with you, my man. Thanks for watching with us. Brett Fields, good to see you in the house. He's saying decent first half, but pretty much what we expected in terms of attacking limitations. A lot of people are just pretty much on the same page when it comes to it. They enjoy the football, they enjoy the patterns of play, and then once it kind of gets to the final third, always left maybe a little bit frustrated. All the fluid, Dave's fluid just doesn't empty every time we get into the final third.
Give him my fluid to Tottenham in the forward line, Jack. Some fluidity.
Dark Sun G, maybe put some context. It didn't help that some of the clubs are going after also have new managers. It's a fair point, right? They want to get a look at some of their guys.
Yeah. Look. That's a fair point.
Wants to keep Savinho. Iraola, right? New player or new manager probably wants to keep Gakpo. So maybe that's also part of the reluctance to sell them.
But the thing is, look, 100%, and that has affected our ability to be able to bring in Savinho. But a club of our size, should we be sitting there waiting for Man City to give us the green light, this long? Surely there's other targets or other people we can go off, especially since most people don't think Savinho's the answer anyway. Why are we sitting around being cooked like this by City?
It might have been Jack or someone mentioned that they wondered too, Dave. I'm not saying it's an excuse or anything for the club, but they were thinking that maybe the fact that the Krupi rumor happened so early and seemed pretty strong from the get-go, and then he got that bad injury, they were saying that they wonder if Spurs, that was one of the forward signings they actually were looking to get done right away, and then he had the injury, and then now they've kind of been scrambling since then. I'm not saying it's an excuse or anything, but an explanation maybe for why one of the forward signings hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, probably 100%. There's probably some legitimacy to that. But again, this is where Tottenham aren't learning from their mistakes. Krupi, Savinho, they're not mature enough to carry the responsibility that we need these 4 players to come in. You're looking to sign a player to be an absolute game changer. Xavi Simons was a similar age coming in last year. Put everything on his shoulders thinking he was going to be a world beater. And he crumbled underneath that. It doesn't help that he was playing in Thomas Frank's system. He didn't really know what to do with him. But he crumbled under the weight of expectancy. Same with Wilson Odobert when we signed him from Burnley. Matisse Tell came in. Everyone thought he was going to be the answer. They're too young and inexperienced at this level. And it's not like they have a couple of seasons behind them of producing 15, 20 goals consistently. Looking at these young guys, likes of Krupi, the likes of Savinho, they're not good enough to come in and bridge the gap between a Kane and a Son. We're never going to get Kane and Son again. But we could do a lot more to try and bridge that gap in quality. And that's where we're letting ourselves down. We're looking at young 21, 22-year-olds. When are we going to learn? It took Kane a number of loan spells to get to the point where he did. It took Son a number of years to get to the point where he did. And these guys are going to have to go on that same journey. But what we're looking for now is instant impact. And this is where the club are letting themselves down.
Matisse Tell may be a decent comparison to like a Son. It's going to take him a while if he is going to ever get to any sort of huge status at Spurs. If he is going to be one of our top forwards, you have to think it's going to take a long time.
People forget Son wanted to leave under Pochettino when he first came because he wasn't being played.
Yeah, good context. I don't want to change the subject too much, but since I am looking at Chris Hughton, Dave, what did you make of the invitation by De Zerbi and the club to bring over all the legends to chat with him? They had a lunch together, the players sitting down with the legends. It looked, I don't know, maybe that happened last season, I forgot, but just a nice classy touch, I actually thought, by the club.
Look, I know a lot of it, like a lot of people just go, it's just PR and stuff. But I actually like it. I think it's very clever from De Zerbi. I think it helps him sort of get a feel of the foundations of what this club is built on. It really helps him get a feel of the fan base through these players because of the way they've served the club, what they've won and stuff like that. And there's a lot of fans of them generations. So I think it helps him get a better understanding of that. But mostly, I think it's good to have all these ex-professionals sort of in and around the place doing bits and pieces and stuff like that. Because it's just a reminder to everybody of what level you need to achieve, where you need to get to if you want to emulate this person, And not only that, they can be there to give some of these players advice, help some of these youngsters. Maybe there's a flaw in their game. They go, do you know what? If you just do this, like you listen to Robbie Keane, he constantly speaks about Teddy Sheringham. How much he learned off Teddy Sheringham. you know, when he was young and came in at Tottenham. So these teams can be invaluable to some of these players. So for me, I think it's just good to surround yourself with legends and with winners in general. I think it'll help us, you know, move forward in that regard if it's done right. What you don't want is these guys coming in and, you know, it's just like, oh, we're just going to sit here for 24 hours and celebrate you. You know, ideally you want them coming in and sort of good discussions taking place, good back and forth, and everyone can leave taking benefits from it.
Yeah, just like seeing just that image of him at the table, and it wasn't like a huge, big, you know, round table or something. It was like only 7 or 8 of them, just former players around De Zerbi, and he's obviously talking about maybe what he wants to do this season, the process, or whatever it might have been. It just, there was a classy touch about it. Didn't look as maybe fake or as PR as like Dave kind of said too. I even saw like Steve Perriman, you know, he's having a chat with you know, Souza, and you're like, dang, what could they be talking about there? It's just, I liked it. I like that the players too, the way they position them. Some of the players are not sitting just with each other; they're with the former players. They're having a chat. Wanyama is talking to Madison, you know, about a game they shared together. You know, it's just, I liked it. It seemed normal. It seemed real. It seemed normal. Yeah.
I also feel like for the last few years, Jack, you know, when it's come to the likes of Frank and Ange and, you know, other managers, that there hasn't been any legends sort of in and around the club. So when they've sort of given their opinion, it's just their opinion. It hasn't really been based on what they're seeing inside or what they know of and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like if De Zerbi maybe does enter a turbulent period at Tottenham, the hope is that these legends have seen enough good stuff to go, hold your horses and let's see him through this period. And give him that bit of backing rather than jumping on the bandwagon like everyone else seems to do, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You know, but, and even if it's not right, you can sit there and you can listen to them and they can go, well, look, the way he speaks to people, you know, the fundamentals and what they're doing inside is all wrong. And you can go, okay, right, I get it. You know, but vice versa, it works if he needs to be protected. Going, look, not the right quality players right now, but everything else this guy is doing inside, the way he has the locker room, they're eating out the palm of his hands. We just need to stick with it. And I think that'll help De Zerbi, hopefully, moving forward.
Senesi is still giving that referee an earful. You could tell by that penalty.
He's still finding his Adam Apple, Jack. He's got a third nut down there now.
Echo Man saying majestic from De Zerbi, bringing in the legends back into the mix with the newbies. Definitely agree. Stack 55 saying referee's been a mug. Completely agree. Classy move, says J-Mac. Absolutely. And lesser known saying, I'll say it again, Poole City do have no reason, though, to enable Spurs for the top 4. That could also be part of the reluctance of them to sell these guys straight away, is that they know that Spurs are obviously making a big push to climb back up the table. And the fact that I know we have our doubts and whatnot with Gakpo and with Savinho, but they have been huge investments for those teams.
Yeah.
Gakpo, a season or two ago, his first season at Liverpool, I think his first season and a half, did have good numbers. It's just he had a terrible last season. Savinho, to be fair to him, when he was at Girona, was one of the best players in La Liga that season. So you're thinking like they're worried that Spurs are just seeing their targets and they don't want to help us in any way. So that's also like Dark Sun G.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a total excuse, but it is some maybe partial explanation for why it's not been straightforward for us.
100%. 100%, you know, look, and these are the things, right? There's so much that goes on in transfer markets that we don't know about, you know, and stuff like that, to be fair. Yeah. But look, where I sort of give Slovenia a slight pass, and where is even Ibrahimovic fell out of the love of the game under Guardiola at Barcelona. Etu fell out of love for the game under Guardiola at Barcelona.
True, Eto, yeah.
There's been a lot of world-class players that, because of the discipline, because of the relentless nature of Guardiola and stuff like that, they sort of fall out of love for what they're doing. So that could be the case when it comes to Savinho, and that's where I give him a slight pass. However, the big concern is, you know, Spurs have signed many of players down the year you don't really know too much about. Now, of course, we all know a bit more about Savinho because we've watched them and stuff. So we all end up watching a lot of highlight reels. A lot of the highlight reels I see of the kid cuts off around the edge of the box. That's where my huge concern comes in. Even Destiny Adogi, when I was watching stuff on him, had end product in his highlight reels. That's where I'm hugely concerned with Savinho. Like, and we can all go at Girona in Spain. Lo Celso had numbers in Spain.
Yeah,
when
no,
he left
totally.
Tottenham, went back to Spain and even picked up on them numbers.
100%.
But coming to the Premier League was not good enough.
100%. 100%. Spurs have gotten kicked off, though. 46 minutes, 10 seconds if you want to sync up.
But
Thanks to
if there is
anybody
anyone,
watching with us. Sorry, yeah.
if there is anyone that can alleviate my concerns, please do. I'm not just hating on the guy for hating on the guy's sake, going, oh, you shit, I don't want them. I'm giving you my legitimate concerns. So if you've seen stuff, or maybe you're educated on stuff that I'm not, let me know. By the way,
It's good context. I appreciate it. So, things we haven't said before.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off again, though.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, the usual stuff, boring, Jack. Over 300 in-house. Support would go a long way in terms of liking, subscribing. Hyping is a new thing if you're watching on your mobile phone. If you're driving around the missus and the kids' places and you're still watching, you can hype. And if you want, grab yourself a membership, share out some memberships to others, or put in your super chats and give us some stuff to talk about.
Because at the end of the day,
it's not a dictatorship here. It isn't just you guys come in and listen to me and Jack. We want the engagement, so engage with us, guys.
We're a republic over here on this YouTube channel. West Coast Spur, good to see you. Jovi saying we are deserving. Dark Sun G saying it was nice to see Llorente and Wanyama again since I was used to them at Spurs. Yeah, Llorente talking to Poro. By the way, Llorente looked great. He looked just the same from. It's like he's looked the same age since 24 for some reason. And then Chris Hughton also looked like he was in great shape.
Let me ask you, Jack, just to maybe expand the discussions on Gakpo, why the ball's sort of just being knocked around. Well, sorry, why Tonali's being assassinated by 4 people in the midfield there. Could it be with the case of Gakpo that just because, to be fair, Mo Salah was half the player we've seen in years gone by. Now, part of that is because he's slowing down, but all of Liverpool's forward players were shit last year under Arne Slot. Is it more of a case of the system and the manager than Gakpo being not the answer? Do you think it could be a case we sign him, he comes in and produces? Because he's at the ripe age, 26?
Yeah, 27, 28, yeah. I do think some of the Gakpo hate has been a tad bit forced.
Bit over the top.
Yeah, a bit over the top, but I think it's just he was pretty awful to watch last season for them. And I do agree with some of the people that say that pretty much every time he looks to just cut inside and shoot from distance. I agree with that. But if you do look at the numbers he had in his first season and a half at Liverpool, he did show that he can score in this league and be effective. I'm not saying that's going to happen at Spurs. Where with Savinho, I agree with your skepticism about Savinho, maybe more than Gakpo. I think Gakpo, you could make a case that maybe he could end up flourishing here. Whereas with Savinho, I think the concerns are very valid.
Like, the thing is, Savinho has all the attributes in terms of getting on the ball, beating the man, the trickery. But that end product isn't something the Zerbi can just put into him overnight. That's something that's going to come with age, experience, games, confidence, stuff like that. And you could end up waiting a while with Savinho. Do you think it's naturally in Gakpo now more than Savinho to sort of deliver that?
Probably. I think Gakpo will ultimately be a far better goal scorer than Savinho will.
Okay.
But I mean, your Salah example, not going to make this case for Savinho, but you could make the case that people like Salah. I remember Salah was a guy with no end product when he first was at Fiorentina, Chelsea. I think it was only until he really came to Roma that then you start to see him start to develop that finishing trend. But even at Roma, he wasn't known as the deadly goal scorer that he was at Liverpool. So there's something to that took him a while to become more of a goal scorer. He was always a creative, spicy winger, but he wasn't ever a goal scorer. He actually was a bit like a Savinho, where you're like, he doesn't seem to get any power behind those shots, or he doesn't really seem to get any real conviction when he's in the final third. But then all of a sudden, you would never have said that about Salah. So not saying that's going to happen, Savinho, but you do wonder that maybe certain players, for some reason or another, takes them a while. I mean, right now we're seeing it to a degree with Matisse Tell. Matisse Tell looked like he offered nothing as a forward, and now he skins people for fun out on the wing. So players can improve. I just don't always want to make that case every time, because people would say that about Brendan Johnson, right? They're like, oh, well, obviously he can improve there. And it's like, that wouldn't get everybody that excuse. Shot on goal here. Kinski, not the most convincing save.
And Jai's the Everton deal
move fell off. Oh, nearly scoring there. Hoffenheim.
It's off. Could we maybe nick in there? Maybe
I would pounce on immediately and Jai. And then people have pointed out that he didn't have great numbers last season. I mean, anybody who's watched Njai can tell that guy's a baller.
Everton have had bad attacking numbers for fucking
and also
5 years.
How many can you really score in David Moyes' team when every game is 1-0, 1-1?
It's not even just David Moyes. Everton have had a bad attack line for 5 years or so now.
That's true. I would say he's been almost consistently, though, their top goal scorer in terms of like big goals and big games. I remember he was almost he was a bit like Richarlison, actually. I remember he scored some really good goals for them to keep them up one of the seasons in Jai. I love him. He's actually one of my
I
favorite
really
players.
like Njai. Jeez, anytime he's come up against us, he's fucking rinsed us.
I think he's about as good
It
at
was like
dribbling as
Kudus.
Kudus. Yeah, he's Kudus vibes.
Anytime he came up against him in West Ham, he absolutely destroyed us.
Yeah, he's scary good dribbler like Kudus, where it's like I would hate to come up against someone like that. Yeah, I did get to see him in person too, actually, during the World Cup.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a lot bigger than he looks.
It does seem like, though, for all intents and purposes, it does seem like Tottenham are going to hold out and try and squeeze Gakpo and Savinho over the line before deadline day. So
Yeah.
I would say to Spurs fans, even if you're not pro them, I would start getting used to the idea that, Spurs have held out all summer long to try and get these two guys in the door.
But yeah, Njai would be a dream, 100%.
Yeah, that would be a naughty one.
What I like about Njai too is I think he could also play almost any position in the forward line, bar striker. Because he has for Everton. He played on the right for Everton when Jack Grealish was on the left. He's played through the middle as kind of a number 10. So he would fill a lot of gaps, especially while we have literally no forwards to pick from since they're all injured.
Yeah.
He would fill a lot of gaps for sure.
Echo Man, I'm actually warming to the idea of Gakpo out left, Savinho right, and Kudus in the number 10. That's right, actually. De Zerbi did say, wasn't it? Something was leaked or something came out, quote, saying that he does see Kudus as a guy through the middle, which is very, very interesting. Potentially, maybe even as a striker. Maybe that's what he means, through the middle. He's unlucky. I don't mind that, though. Get on the ball, show something.
I like the Mikitadze too rumor. Yeah, Echo Man saying. Mikitadze also kind of passes the seeing eye test whenever you watch him.
I do like that one. That's one I actually wouldn't mind taking a gamble on. I like his movement, Mikitadze, actually, if you watch him.
Kind of Aguero-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you just go and watch his highlight reel, you'll actually see through Mikitadze how poor Solanke's movement really is. Because Mikitadze doesn't rely on strength or power.
No, not too quick or anything.
He's got to move into pockets of space and move into channels. His movement is fucking very good. Go and watch it, people, and then you'll see where Solanke really lacks.
I agree with that.
Even Richarlison, you see where Richarlison lacks. Some of the balls that come across and Mikitadze puts in, you're like, oh, could do with a bit of that.
The fact that it's 1-0, I would say, is also a bit harsh to both teams. Spurs could probably say they maybe deserved another goal, and then Hoffenheim, I am surprised, have not scored. Both teams have played quite well and played some nice football, to be fair. And both teams have been pressing. It's been nice.
Kinski's making me really nervous in possession. What do you want him to do? Sit on your fucking on your shoelaces, Kinski. Move the ball.
Good spray.
And Hecka. That'll do. 54 minutes in, Tottenham 1-0 to the good. Could have been maybe 2 or 3 with some of the good crosses coming in. Kinski hasn't really had a lot to do. A couple of shots have flashed by his post, but not a lot for him to actually do.
If you guys can too, maybe just get this to at least half, 50% of you guys liking it. Would appreciate it. Only about 30 away.
We're not even at half. So I'm sitting here with swollen bollock, and you can't even give 50%, guys.
Now.
Come on.
Time and space here. He's
got it. Hold it up. Let him get up in support. Lucky.
Oh, good strength.
There we go. Wow, ref.
Now he's calling foul.
It's not his fault he's a beefcake and he's gone to the gym. Come on. What the guy's a pussy, though. Oh, no, sorry. Can't say that anymore. He's a pussy, though. Mako, these attackers are awful.
That Getafe friendly felt like we were playing against an angry pub team. So this past time was kind of,
yeah, that's bloody true.
It was amazing they were doing time wasting in a preseason friendly.
Oh, Getafe. Oh, yeah. My lord.
I was because I've watched so many videos about that manager, and it was so funny to see it all come true in a preseason friendly. And even too, like when they were saying they play a high line, but then they put every player in the midfield to block it up the passes. And it was like,
Do you
it's true.
know? Do you know who secretly gets away with a lot of time wasting in the Premier League? Is Eddie Howe.
Yes.
His teams get away with so much time waste, and it's never highlighted. I think there was actually a stat at one point they wasted their games had the least amount of time of the ball actually in play. I think
one of
it
the
worked
games
out
under
like
Ange, yeah.
58 or 68 minutes per game, ball in play under with Newcastle under Eddie Howe.
I will miss Jason Tyndall though.
Yeah. Do you know what? He's the right guy to have an assistant, sort of, if you know what I mean. Looks after himself, seems like very good banter. You know what I mean? Bit light-hearted, but also has a
It's
bit
like his
of
bodyguard.
yeah, but then also, you know, you sort of don't want to piss him off either. You know, he could be a bit fiery. He actually is a really good sort of assistant. He loved it up in Newcastle, though, didn't he? He was doing the GLT or whatever it's called, Gym Tan and Laundry, GTL or whatever. Senesi. Bergval.
Can you find Tell? Ooh, Tell was about to run in behind there.
Gallagher, right?
Gallagher.
Number 10, what are you going to do? The most basic part of fucking planet Earth. Please take him off. He's useless.
Good ball from Matisse Tell, Richarlison!
That's what Gallagher should be doing. Great ball from Matisse. I'm sick of watching Gallagher's hair bounce in the wind and he does absolutely nothing.
Richie just, I think, need to pull the trigger sooner. And also, he did look quite slow when he was playing behind there. Great ball. Look at this pass from Matisse Tell. Look at this vision. Love that.
Ah, it's beautiful. You're right.
Just shoot it then. Shoot it then.
He's got to put it quicker, Jack. Right there, it's on.
It takes a touch. Just no need to take that touch. No need. You're not helping yourself with that touch.
Because it takes it even further away from the goal.
Yeah,
exactly. We look dangerous, but also susceptible. That's part of football, right, though, Michael, is if you are going to be a more attacking team, and also with the way De Zerbi does like to take risks in his build-up play, you're always going to look a bit susceptible. And to be fair, like I said to Hoffenheim looked like a team that liked to attack. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about being slightly susceptible. It's the gamble you take. Under Ange, it was madness. We were being ripped open every opportunity. It's not happening under De Zerbi, where we're being ripped apart, which is good. But also, Matisse Tell. Oh, what a ball, Mikey! What a goal! Come on! Matisse Let's go, Mikey!
Rinsed the whole team there and then put in a peach of a cross.
Mikey
Moore on the goal sheet.
Mikey Moore.
One of our own.
Mikey Moore. Na. Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore. He's one of our own. Mikey Moore. He's one of our own.
Come on, give me the replay this time, Spurs play. I want to see Matisse Tell. I think he might have rinsed 4 players there.
He's absolutely burned them down that left-hand side.
Come on, people. How do people not rate this guy?
Honestly, you couldn't miss that. It was that good of a play by Matisse Tell. You couldn't miss that goal. What a cross. Look at this. Beats one.
3 players.
Yeah, you're my pussy. Oh, sorry, you. Number 2. Number 3 want it? Bosh, right across the box.
Perfect what a cross. Matisse.
Do you know what I love about it? It's whipped around, so it's coming away from the goalkeeper, which means it doesn't actually give him the chance to come out and get it. Look, it's coming away from the goal. It's such a good cross in that position.
BJ settings for Mikey Moore. That was a Brendan Johnson goal. Very good shout. 100% of Brendan Johnson goal. Sit down.
Everyone sit down.
And also, I mean, he deserved that, Tell, because he played probably an even better pass to Richarlison earlier.
Matisse, that's filthy.
2 great chances created by Tell. 2 great ones.
Adrian Chia, good to see you, buddy. Says, big up, lads. First super chat for the new season. First super chat of the day as well. Adrian Chia, really do appreciate that, my man, and really appreciate the support. Now Basuma is gone. There can't officially be any more Basuma Third Kit Society. So we're going to have to come up with a new one for you this time, Adrian. Who are we on this year? Good to see you, my man. How's life?
Good to have you, Adrian.
Who else have we got here? Daniel says Tell and more.
Finally, someone finishes a Tell cross, says Tyler.
That's true.
To be fair, I felt bad for Solomon, Tyler, as you pointed out. Solomon also during preseason put in some absolute dimes that no one put away.
The thing is, Matisse Tel could have had 1 or 2 assists against Getafe. It's just
Yeah.
no one put them away. And if he does get that, then you're having different conversations around Matisse Tel to a certain degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not really talking about him not
Mm-hmm.
having the end product. Oh,
Ooh. Probably didn't need to
do you know
pass
what?
that.
Bergvall done well there to try and put pressure on that strike. Actually, who's this? The German Gallagher.
The German Gallagher would have a name like Wimmer.
What would Gallagher be in German?
Wimmer
Gallagher.
sounds like an equivalent to
dunno.
Gallagher. It's a very common last name in Germany.
Ich bin Gallagher. No, I can't correlate the German version of Gallagher, but they have him.
I feel like Gallagher, right? It's like a semi-common last name or surname.
So what would be a common surname?
Yeah, I'm saying
in
Wimmer
German?
is not a bad shout. Wimmer is
Oh,
quite
that
common.
is it?
Pretty common.
We had Kevin Wimmer. He was Austrian, though.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
I need to stand up for a
Tonali?
second.
Hopefully everything's all right with Tonali. Yeah, he
Just
seems
there. I
fine.
just need to
Yeah,
stand
all
up.
good. Whatever you need. Well, putting pressure on the back line here. Oh, Van Hecke. Look how high up Van Hecke is in Romero territory. Mikey Moore into Richie. Mikey, play to Tell. He's wide open. Mikey Moore. How has he not played Tell? He's wide open. He's at the back post. Queen Ellie, good to have you. She's at the match. That touch from Richarlison there, honestly shocked. Oh, play it in the air, Mikey Moore. Play it in the air. Why is he playing it on the ground? Oh, it's a tap in for Tell. You have to feel for him. And Richarlison's first touch there might be one of the worst first touches I've seen. He got away with it. Some good play from Spurs. That should have been a goal. Mikey Moore, good skill. Can he get to this? Good pressure from Gallagher. Richarlison, once again, that touch. Wins it, though. Gets a foul, doesn't get a foul. Referee's not buying it. He's probably watched many a games of Richarlison and knows that he's going to go to the ground there. Poor last few minutes from Richie. To be expected sometimes. He is a bit of a clunker.
I missed Jack. I heard you scream and tell.
There was a really good play from Mikey Moore. Played it in Richarlison. You missed it, but Richarlison had one of the worst first touches in the box I've ever seen, ever. But he got away with it. Fell back to Mikey Moore. And Mikey Moore, Dave, the most obvious cross towards the back post to Tell. Played it on the ground. Goalkeeper easily picks it up, but it should have been in the air. And Tell would have been able to hit it in with like his chest, practically. He was just standing, just waiting for it. So he had to feel for Tell because it would have been a tap in for him. Mikey Moore's got to be so much better, but he's looked good. Mikey, it's just that's has to be a goal. It's just one of those again with Spurs where you're like any other team that's in the back of the net 10 times out of 10. And
Mikey Moore seems to play a lot better on the bigger pitches with more time and space.
Plays well at the Spurs Stadium.
Yeah, he does.
LOL, Jack's Richarlison kit has somehow outlasted my Basuma third kit. That is actually insane when you think about it, Adrian.
That's hilarious.
Considering the hype that came with Basuma as well. Like everyone was like, best, everyone, not even Spurs fans.
Everyone wanted him.
Everyone wanted him. The deal, too, for £27 million or something. We were like, bargain, one of the best bargains everyone thought of. Not even that summer, multiple summers. And then Richarlison, we paid, $60 million, paid a lot, right? And it is amazing.
All that hype for Conte to turn around and 27 million for Conte to turn around and say the guy doesn't understand tactics.
Yeah. Literally. It's somehow Richarlison does.
Oh, madness.
Big up, Adrian Chia. Fair comment.
When Conte comes out with that, you're thinking, though, do your homework, Tottenham. Do you know what? We should have seen it coming because when there's so many signatures around the player and he ends up at Tottenham, like Ndombele did, by the way, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, fucking City and all was supposed to be in for him. Same with Basuma. Everyone wanted him. And then he end up at Tottenham. In that circumstances, you should alarm bells or his spidey senses should already be tingling Go on, what's going on here? Oh, well done, Van Hecke.
Marcelo saying Richie's touch is so bad it actually confuses defenders sometimes. That's a fair point. Sometimes
Confuses
I'm that
himself
bad
too, though.
I've sometimes had such shocking touches at times that I also have caught off a defender. It's like, oh, it's actually worked out for me here.
Marcelo confuses Richarlison too, though. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, fair. It's a hilarious comment.
Sensuelo, great name, says, love your presentation. That's all Jack's work. It's all Jack's handiwork.
Presentation is a very kind word.
Very kind. Very astute. Very astute use of the Collins
We're
Dictionary
conducting
there,
a
man.
PowerPoint presentation. Tonali's been class, Daniel.
Can't wait to see Fernandes in beside him or even get Bentancur back in beside him.
Another water break for Spurs. We're at
Another one.
66-36 in case you guys aren't synced or want to. Van Hecke's been solid, says Tyler.
He's picked up. Still concerned about his shaky minute at the start of the game and that moment against Chelsea, refusing to close down the cross.
What about Senesi, Tyler? Let me know. Sorry.
I'm not sold on Van Hecke. I need him to prove me into the season.
Mm-hmm. Assume
Also,
that's so shit that even Turkish or Saudi teams haven't even picked him up yet. Has
he not been picked up at all?
No.
Jesus.
That's something. Conte has never lied. Came back to say Luke just scored. Andrew Burnett. Luke,
Vuskovic.
yeah, must have been.
Big up, Andrew. Good to see you, sir.
King Hoddle. Romano's just retweeted that Gakpo has personal terms agreed, just now up to the clubs.
So it's at the same stage as it's been at then. I think that's been out the last couple of days, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, Liverpool want to recoup a lot of the money they paid for Bradley Barcola, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to try and do that using Tottenham's need for Gakpo.
Did you catch the Super Cup final at all, Dave?
Yeah, that young lad up front for City is not 17 years of age.
Or for Aston Villa?
Or for Aston Villa, sorry. He's not 17 years of age.
Majo, yeah.
His passport needs to be checked.
I'm
almost sure.
You know what I meant, though, by like how Mikey Moore, I feel for him, and that you just see guys like that, and he's like supposedly 17, like you're saying, Majo, and you're like, Mikey Moore looks every bit of his age compared to some of these guys at 18 or 19, even Yamal, too. You're just like, who looks like that at 17, 18? Like, to be that built, that tall.
No, they made a mistake on that guy's birth cert, Maja. 100% they did. They changed the two, like, 19, like, what is it, like 2000 to, like, or he's really born in, like, 1991. He's probably same age as me.
Jeez, if you spilled your drink near that Hoffenheim manager, you are getting decked. The guy's built like a UFC fighter. He looks terrifying.
What are they feeding the kids nowadays when you've got 17-year-olds walking around like that? He was huge. Couldn't believe it. He actually done well for Villa as well.
Yeah. Oh, lovely play, Richarlison. Not an easy ball to hold up, but that was nice play up until it got to him.
But again, Villa have given this guy the opportunity. Why couldn't we give Lancashire an opportunity like that?
Johnny. Lancashire, I'm not sure if you got to catch it, but in the Not Top 20 podcast for the championship, they have Middlesbrough finishing first. They predict them to finish first. And they were saying part of it has to do with Lancashire. Because they were saying Middlesbrough, they have a really good manager. They were saying their manager is kind of a bit, they didn't compare it to De Zerbi, but they were saying their manager is one of those up-and-coming ones like Maresca was with Leicester City. And they were saying that they're playing really good football, and all they needed was just some key signings in areas. And one of them they were saying was just goal scoring. And the guy mentioned that he's an Oxford United fan, and he said, we create nothing. He said, we were a horrible team, created nothing, and Lancashire somehow scored 11 goals.
Yeah.
So he's pointing out that Lancashire might get them a first-place finish.
Ashley Phillips, they're trying to... Whatever's going on with that deal, way it's stalling.
It got completed today, actually.
Oh, did it? Yeah, so he's gone there as well. So, and he's done well at championship level at centre-back, Ashley Phillips. Could very well be seeing the two of them in the Premier League next year.
When I was listening to that podcast, I was like, when are they going to mention Boro so I can listen to Lancashire? And then it got to first. I was like, what?
She scored in his debut, didn't he, against Wrexham in the Cup?
Mm-hmm. So I was, again, a little disappointed because I was thinking if he's going to come straight back to the Premier League, will Lancashire, and he does end up being as good as they're saying. It's like, why did we? I don't know.
Yeah.
Rant over. It's just, it did frustrate me. It was fascinating to listen to that, but it also frustrated me.
UNC alert. What does that mean?
Uncle alert. I don't know. It's this new YouTube thing of I don't know how it works, but people send in jewels or something. I'm not sure how it works though. The game's gone. YouTube's gone.
Alert. What is that? I don't know.
It's just some flashing thing that comes up on screen. I'm not sure what it means.
On screen where?
It's like an emoji or
Oh, okay.
like a flashing animation. Bergval with time and space here.
So there you are,
Just
guys.
shouldered
Those
off
who
the
are
ball.
asking in the chat. That's what it is.
Looks like a foul there earlier.
Oh, good save.
Referee's not been giving us many favors. And then artist is explaining that Dave means you're being called old, but I don't think it was intended in that way.
Oh, look, if it is, I'll take that on the chin all day. I'm old school. I'm a caveman. I make no secret about it. Even when we meet up, Jack, you know, everyone has all the latest things and all the new technology, and I'm just bog standard.
Yeah, El Dante, I don't know how it works. I think it's just somebody at YouTube who just needed something to do, so they just came up with something.
They need to justify their overtime
kidding.
that month.
Kinski's actually been pretty busy. Kinski's starting to having to make some saves, and he's done all right.
I wouldn't say out of touch there, though, RST. I'm well aware of the modern world. I just choose not to embrace it.
I know the ways of the modern man. I just decide not to be one.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Van Hecke. Once again, Romero territory.
Go on, Vine. Go on. Unlucky.
Van Hecke is a madman.
He'll be mad if they fucking use that gap to score.
He's really trying to embrace his Romero, Van Hecke. Good clearance.
And then at the back post.
Archie Gray, as you mentioned, Dave, has really solidly not.
How many times have we seen
It's just he
Poro
hasn't been
beaten there?
skinned. Not too much going down his side for whatever reason. You pointed that out very early on.
And the thing is, even that header there, you can't take that for granted. How many times has Poro been beaten at the back post?
Mm-hmm.
Sent treat for 5 joules. Appreciate that. Honestly, I don't even know what these joules do, but appreciate everyone. And Dante, don't blame you, Dave. I'm not on TikTok, not on Threads. Stop signing up to any social media. It's too much these days. To be honest, I don't have a personal TikTok account either. And I don't even know what Threads are, so it probably shows I'm even more out of date than you.
Brentford just beat Frankfurt 6-0.
You can borrow my monocle and cane anytime, Dave. Appreciate that, lad. Generally, our preseason games have not been against high-quality teams. Even Chelsea game, it was just their second game. Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't mind the Hoffenheim Getafe opponents. I actually think those are decent opponents to play. I know they're not maybe the most glamorous of teams on paper, but they're actually not bad sides who also play very different brands of football, which I think does help for training. Chance here, though. Someone's got to get it cleared.
What's Threads when it's at home anyway, Jack?
Threads is the alternative to Twitter.
Like Blue Sky, is that what it is?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, so it's a different one altogether again.
I think it's owned by Facebook.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, there's not for everything nowadays.
Uh,
75 minutes. These players must feel like they're into injury time after the game against Getafe. Start seeing them go down with cramp and all now, Jacko.
Can't beat old school wisdom.
Here we go. Oh, Tyrese Hall.
Hardy, Tyrese Hall.
Come on, Tyrese Hall. That is my guy. My Jamaican. He's
Not
now
sh-
a Jamaican international
That's
now, if
right.
people didn't know that.
That's right.
So when he comes on, we all have to embrace him and say, Wagwan. Just get out some Jamaican slang. I love the way they talk.
Any idea who that might be? The extra player there? Is it Russell Denny?
We've got Therese Hall. I think
Let me see
Hardy
on
is
the
there.
bench.
And let me check. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is Russell Denny.
No,
Oh,
must
good ball,
be
Van Hecke. Good ball. Come on, Mikey. Come on.
Elliot Paris.
Oh, that's who it is. The striker coming on for Richie. Oh, Archie Grit. Oh, Mikey Moore. No, he's getting back up. It's all right.
No, not
15 minutes
Byfield.
to
There's
go.
no Byfield on the bench, it looks like. Unless it is Byfield and
No,
he's not
it's
mentioned.
Tyrese Hall. It's definitely Tyrese Hall. It's definitely Hardy. And then
Could be Elliot Paris. I'm not sure what he looks like, Elliot Paris. It's just the rest of the names I'm pretty sure I
I
recognize.
think you might have been I think you might have been right with the Russell Denny though. You know. No Donnelly today, which is a bit disappointing.
Do you guys buy the training wear for Spurs? If I had more money to spend freely at the Spurs shop, absolutely I would. They are great
Will
for
Lancashire
working
just
out.
scored again for Middlesbrough.
Don't want it to get triggered. I just also love with Lancashire is he does have the build again of like also a real number 9.
Yeah. Scores again. Bang them in.
Tell. Oh,
Oh.
run! Maybe ran 70 yards.
He's had a good game today, Matisse.
Just also has different moves in his locker. It seems like he knows how to take it down the outside, go to the byline. He knows how to cut inside.
Someone wants to know if you ever bought the training wear from
That's what I was talking about.
Tottenham
Yeah.
shop. Oh, I certainly haven't. Not for me. Too tight around me. No one wants
It
to
is a
see
little
that.
tight.
Yeah, no one wants to see that. Trust me. If I wore stuff like that, I'd have fluid build up everywhere.
He was also like in incredible shape. Who I follow on socials is Berbatov.
Yeah.
Takes care of himself really well.
Yeah, he does. He loves himself.
And then
He's a slick man, Berba.
also the player, probably the most kind of like fitness pro player is like Andre Sherlock, believe it or not.
Oh, time and space here. Gallagher, you're number 10. Do something.
Matisse Tell.
Let's go, Matisse.
He wants one here. I think he's gonna take it for himself here.
Go again.
Oh,
Go again.
have a hit, man. Have a hit.
Oh, good ball. Good ball, Mikey. Yes! Mikey Moore at the double. What a finish from Mikey Moore. Let's fucking go. Again, it's all Matisse Tal. Picks the ball up in his own half, drives forward, beats one or two cutting inside. You're thinking he's going to crack one, and he plays a lovely, delicate little pass into Mikey Moore's path. And Mikey Moore with a very good finish into the bottom corner, by the way. Let's not miss that in this wonderful goal that Tottenham have scored. But this is much better. Maybe Mikey Moore could be changing a couple of opinions today. That's 2 goals for the kid.
Mm-hmm. He's been creative and he scored 2 goals. But Tell has just been creating wonderful chances for players.
You're Pussio number 1. You're number 2.
That skill there. Tell is disgusting.
Just to describe that skill, he moves it from left to right and also picks the pass. It's beautiful. It's just, he's got the ball between his 2 feet, moves it from left to right on the instep, and then passes it. It's so technically delicious. Look at that.
Tell
He's
is
absolutely
cooking.
Bamboozled them. I need a minute. I'm confused after he's moved the ball that quickly. What a goal.
Tell is dirty.
That's filthy, Jacko.
That's unbelievable. I really thought it was actually a mistake because I was like, no way he's pulled that off. And he did. Intentional. Very intentional.
Q7 says decision making at its finest. Absolutely. Absolutely. More of that from Matisse.
I would have.
Filthy.
I thought he was going to be selfish. I would have been happy with him being selfish because he's put in absolute decks of chances for other players. And then he's once again just decided to make the right decision. An unbelievable skill to find Mikey Moore there. Good finish too. Tell.
I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for
Take a
Mikey
bow.
Moore today. I'm absolutely buzzing for Moore today. He's had a good game, created a couple of opportunities, scored 2 goals. He's took his opportunity today, that's for sure.
We are winning the treble, says King Huddle. Is Tell still on the pitch? I would have taken him off. He's now becoming our best player, Tell, in the
Do
forward
you know what
line.
it is?
Got to keep him safe.
He's probably in that much confidence. He just wants him to keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Deserby's just.
What's that called? State flow, is it? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, he's in.
Flow state?
Yeah, he's in flow state. Maybe, yeah. What also people in the chat saying he's cooking. Just let him cook.
Do you know what? I'll give it to Bergvall today. He's actually been really good with some of them hospital passes that Kinski keeps putting into him in that deep position. He hasn't lost it today in that position. He's been good there. Go on, Sandro. Who's that operating my midfield? It's Sandro Tonali.
Hardy. Size of Hardy, too.
Big boy.
Gray.
So, Richarlison, Moore, Senesi, and Gallagher have come off. Therese Hall will slot in for Gallagher. Malachi Hardy will slot in for Senesi. Reece Elliott Paris, good call by Jack, will slot in for Richarlison, while Adewole, I think, will come in for Mikey Moore. We watched, I think we watched Adewole a couple of times, Jack. Elliott Paris has only stepped up to the under 18s, if I'm correct.
I wonder what Matisse Tell is going to cost in fantasy. I'm starting to I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think if he's like under 5, if he's around 4, 3.5, that could be a steal of a prize.
Do you know what I love about that? 3-0 up, everyone's gone slightly silent for a minute, and everyone's contemplating, do you know, what will we do for the rest of the evening? And Jack's sitting there going...
Thinking because I need to get the
I
fantasy
can
started, and now I'm just like, you know what? Because the last 2 seasons, I do not like having Spurs players on my team. Oh! Tyrese Hall finds... Oh!
Work, unlucky. I absolutely love that. Jack's trying to contemplate if trying to foresee Matisse Tell's season unfolding ahead of him, whether he buys him in fantasy.
Sneaky little. He's $6 million.
And then how much is he?
He shouldn't be $6 million. He should be like 4 or something. I'm surprised. I mean, obviously, maybe someone in the fantasy station is a Spurs fan because they must know. 6 seems a bit expensive for me.
J-Mac, a guy I used to play with, his grandson is playing at number 9 now. Is that Elliot Paris? Here we go. Donnelly getting on. I wonder what's going on there. Is there maybe a move on the cards for him? Why we didn't see him sooner, maybe?
Yeah, maybe I'm forgetting about the prices. I just hope that Tell is Tell a bargain, would you say, Tyler? I mean, you don't like Tell as much as I do, to be fair, so maybe I'm asking the wrong guy.
Tyler's going to love him this year. Let's see what the like situation is at. We've got 370 watching. Are we at 50% yet? 150. Come on, guys. Smash that like. We need it to be at 180 to get half. We're 30 off. Some of you guys are holding out on us. I know you find it funny. It's a good joke, but at the end, before you leave, do smash the like.
Shemtan, good to see you, my friend. Looking really good today. Passing well. More outstanding. Tell is having a good game as well. Big up, Shem.
Big up, Shem. Good to see you. Could be a lot of kebabs for you this year, Shem. Especially if Matisse Talpa keeps playing this way.
Phil Spur, good to see you.
Phil Spur. Where are you from, my man? I can't remember. I know you've told me before. We've got another David to join the David Army. Big up, David. Bison. Great name. Sounds like a wild animal that you'd eat.
Was sold. Stacy saying crap team expected to win 16th place again. I mean, that's an improvement. 16th. And then also Stacy shows how massive we are that you even decided to join a preseason friendly watch along of a team you clearly don't like. Shows how massive we are. You'd rather
Oh,
be
we're
here
huge.
than supporting your own.
Look, it doesn't matter where we go on pre-season tour. We sell it out. That's the sign of a big club. Like when I was growing up, that's what Man United used to do. Like I remember Man United used to go on tours of Asia and stuff, and they'd be mobbed everywhere. You know, and then when you see Tottenham go to Korea and that's happening to Tottenham, it shows how far we've come.
Thomas Frank had your kebab shop shut down to his drop kicker teacher. Kebab shops, Indian takeaways all went out of business.
Honestly,
The
it
great
was
pandemic.
getting to the point people are going to start blaming Thomas Frank for the demise of the high street. All you get now is coffee shops and vape shops. Doesn't matter what part of the world you go to now. That's what's on your high streets. And we blame Thomas Frank. All the losing, all the
And
kebab
it's
shops. Had to
correlated.
go. Although I'm sure Thomas Frank in a few years' time would be interviewed and go, look, Dave doesn't know it yet, but I've done it for his health. Maybe. You never know.
PH family, Steve-O is in the house saying, big up, lads. Do we really need to splash out all that money on Savinho when we have Tell? Very similar players, in my opinion. That's our original opinion at the time, but now we're just so desperate for attackers. Unless we can clone Matisse Tell, which I'm not sure is possible yet, Steve.
Let's go, Donley. 3 minutes to grab me a dumb bomb.
Yeah, that was our original opinion, but now we've reached that point of desperation, unfortunately.
Oh my God, this cameraman is honestly. Is this cameraman on trial? Is he like an intern or something? Like he lost control of the camera there. It was zoomed in on a patch of grass for like 2 minutes. Well done, Kinski. I nearly went in that corner. There we go, some fresh legs. That's it. Press the shit out of him. Well done, kid.
Echo Man saying, good game for Bergvall. Was a good game for Bergvall. Looked good today.
Oh, good pressure from him and Donnelly there. Donnelly with a cheeky ball over the top. Not enough curl on it.
Alberto, good to have you.
Big up, Alberto. Good to see you. Hoffenheim on the move down Tottenham's left-hand side. Robertson's had a really good game today, actually, as well. A lot of his crossing has been really good, especially in the first half.
It's been dangerous. Yeah.
But do you know what? Just a quick conversation, Jack. Do you think Matisse Tell could be benefiting from having a left footer there, being able to get him the ball quickly?
100%.
You think so, yeah? Oh, what a turn. Ref, send him off. I mean, it's not rugby we're playing. This guy's playing a complete different sport. I know Matisse Tell has absolutely rinsed him, took his wife, his kids, and his grandparents, but fuck me.
No, I agree. I think also, too, though, to the point of Robertson, some of his crosses have been a little bit overhit, but what I do like about Robertson compared to Udogie is he's so urgent in getting the ball into the box. I think part of the reason Richarlison has had enough service today has been down to Robertson just not hesitating, getting the ball into the box. Whereas Udogie, he seems scared or reluctant to do some of the crosses that Robertson does.
But it's just the accuracy of the passes. Like, and I really noticed it against Chelsea at the end last season. The amount of moves that broke down at Adogie's feet down the left-hand side, which then means when there should be simple passes on to Tell and Adogie's not completing it, it then impacts Tell's performance, which people maybe don't talk about enough. Whereas with Robertson down this side, that's why we've seen, I think, a massive improvement in general this pre-season from Matisse Tell. Because Robertson has played left-back. Robertson's getting on the ball. He's left-footed. It's accurate. He's passing down the line to him. You know, and not only that, half of it, he's not always, his body shape isn't naturally looking to cut in like Jed Spencer's was out of left back, which means because you can get more direct ball to Matisse Tell, you give him more space to cook, and he's taking it.
I agree with a lot of that. You could also say, too, maybe with like Udogie, he sometimes carries the ball maybe too much, whereas Robertson is more of a passer and just a guy who doesn't want to run with the ball that much. He's a guy who's happy just to absolutely launch a pass up to someone.
But you are spot on in terms of it, you know, the crossing from that left back. You know, and it's only going to amplify with Porro coming out right back doing the same the other side. It's going to be crosses galore. But like with Udogie, you are absolutely spot on. He is very hesitant to cross a ball a lot of the times, or even make them passes when Matisse Tell has overlapped and given him an option and stuff. You are right. He carries the ball a lot. Hell of a lot. And Udogie's going to have a lot of work to try and get back to displace Robertson if he keeps up this form. There you go, guys. 3-0 to the good Tottenham with a good win here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we play Hoffenheim again at midday tomorrow.
Great watch along. Great preseason friendly. I think we saw some improvements from players. Tell looking good again. Mikey Moore, great to see your own scoring a
double.
brace. Richarlison as well. I think to the most part got good service tonight. Some good performances for the most part from Spurs. Nice to see a 3-0 win at home. We don't win at home very often anyways, so it's nice to see a win at home in front of the Spurs Stadium. A good way to mark off the year for De Zerbi. I'd say an overall successful outing tonight.
Do you know what, Jack? It's one of them. And it's going to take a while to get used to as well, because we won 3-0 today. We won handedly enough, to be fair. You know, we had a couple of scares at the other end. But there was large periods in that game where you're just like, it's a bit boring. But that's because we're in so much control of the game in terms of the possession. In terms of creating chances. You know what I mean? And I'm not being funny, but this is the life I want to get used to moving forward week in, week out.
Yeah.
Last year and the previous year before that was just pure stress every single bloody game. Under the Zerbi, like, this time is flowing by today. It's absolutely flowing by. By the time when we finish Watchalongs under Frank and Ange, you're sitting there, we could barely even muster up the energy to speak to each other, because it was that stressful and that crap and that boring. You know, today it's absolutely flown by, in complete control. You know, Matisse Tell is certainly benefiting from having Andy Robertson there, which is exciting, that left-hand side. You bring Porro back in on the right-hand side, and whoever plays down the right-hand side, maybe the attack might naturally improve that way, but I would still take one or two attackers in the door. But all in all, Richarlison scored. You're hoping he can give him confidence going into Brentford next weekend now. Mikey Moore scoring the double might just get Spurs to keep him around for another game or two and see if he can continue on that sort of trend. Interesting, but Matisse Tell certainly steals the headlines today. That assist for the last goal, by the way, is absolutely unbelievable. Midfield, Tonali was brilliant. Bergvall was good today. Gallagher, still non-existent. Would rather see him drop for somebody else, to be brutally honest. But apart from that, even Kinski was good in terms of his shot stopping and that today. So all around, Jack, I don't think there's actually a lot to complain about today. I think pretty good performance all around, pretty solid.
I completely agree. Just going to take some comments here. Also, in case anyone saw it, Matisse Tell and Mikey Moore sharing a moment of appreciation for each other, which is good to see the two youngsters. Daniel Larson, 51 months as a member, saying, really looking forward to the season and with you guys as always. Come on, you Spurs. That, 51 months as well, Daniel. So many of you guys are getting into that club, and it's really, really incredible. So thank you for, like Steve D, very kind words from Steve earlier, and yourself, Daniel. Good ambassadors of the channel. And anybody who's joined us for any of the preseason games or considering being with us for it, people like Daniel, good people. Steve, lots of good people in here. Good banter. Also, as well, the passionate Spurs fans who've been through the ringer. I mean, Daniel jokes sometimes, like sometimes when we ask Daniel questions in the fan show, he just don't even know what words to think of because the Spurs are just in that much of a shit place. So hopefully we don't have to put people through the pain and the torture this season. It's a little bit easier. Like Dave said, you know, boring in a good way, a comfort maybe, if you will, in how Spurs are playing.
But you know what, Jack?
Low cortisol, as the kids are saying.
It'd just be good to have smiles on people's faces, you know? Like when we do the fan shows and we speak to the fans, you know, you're almost looking for them to give you the pick-me-up and make you feel better. And then you find out they're just as angry and upset as you. And it's just, it was just sad to see so many anger and glum faces around the Tottenham fan base. Hopefully this year we can get back to smiling and enjoying ourselves again, because that's what football's supposed to be. You're supposed to take a break from everything shit that's going on in life. Enjoy your football, hopefully win, and brings joy to you. So hopefully there's a lot more smiles. And if Matisse Tell and Mikey Moore can play like that moving forward, there will be smiles.
Take some more comments. PH family saying, biggest mistake of the window looks like it was selling Lancashire. You scored again today. Yeah. I'm not, it's a great podcast, by the way, everybody. I'm not, of course, we're not sponsored or anything by them, but not top 20. I listen to them before every season in the championship and the League One. It's just fun to listen to what they have to say. And I was amazed by how much praise they had for Middlesbrough and their manager and just how good of football they said they're going to be playing. And then I was thinking, well, if they're going to be playing progressive front-footed football and they've decided to sign Lancashire as their premier number 9, what the hell are we doing? It's just doesn't make sense to me then. It's like, well, maybe he's gone there because we don't think he's suited for that system or something. Just doesn't make sense. Also could be the case. Lancashire just wants to play games. He thinks he's ready. The fact that he's going to a team like Boro, who have high aspirations this season, that's probably for him. He was like maybe better than just waiting around at Spurs and not getting game in, game out. He's just, he might be a hungry guy that just wanted to play.
Do you know what though, Jack?
For a good team. you know.
If it is the case, Will Lancashire has forced himself out or sort of gone, look, I want the move, I'd be a bit disappointed in him, and I'd be a bit disappointed in his camp. And I've said this sort of a number of times over the summer.
Like Vuskovic.
Sometimes I think you have to sniff an opportunity. You know, Spurs haven't gone to sign another striker. Everyone knows Solanke's not the answer. Everyone knows Richarlison isn't the answer. It was a prime opportunity for
Back
Solanke to
yourself.
buy his time, wait for it to come, and back himself to take it. So if that is the case where he sort of has missed that opportunity due to his own fault or listening to outside influences, I'll be very disappointed in him.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a case De Zerbi's made the decision, then okay, fair enough. You have to back it, right? You know, you have to go, look, De Zerbi knows what he needs. But if it's Will Lancashire's decision, I'd be very annoyed.
Yeah. Daniel Larson saying championship in Premier League is very different. That is fair. Steve saying it will be a novelty enjoying Spurs, enjoying watching Spurs for a change. That's actually true, PH. It's uncomfortable, or maybe we'll get comfortable with it, but you're right. It's a strange feeling. DB, good to have you, DB, saying Dave's had his Irish Breck.
No, do you know what? I haven't actually. I'm trying to stay off all that sort of stuff, to be brutally honest with you. On that one, DB, you know, the good old Irish fry up. No, I'm trying to be good with my eating. Actually, what my missus has been making me is overnight oats with Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and peanut butter.
Wow. I mean, he says he's not a modern man, but that's a very modern breakfast there from Dave. Healthy, hitting a lot of food categories there, hitting that pyramid. Says he's trying to deny his modernness, his modernity. Chopped
Chia
cheese.
seeds are great for cleansing the gut, by the way. Unreal.
Yeah, it's good fiber.
Yeah.
Good fiber. Chopped cheese. Bergvall looked much better today. De Zerbi might improve him levels with Mikey Moore with the state of our wingers. Yeah, true. Cannot leave this summer. I'd love to see him get a chance this season. Great job, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Sounds like Chopped Cheese wants Bergvall to stay. And he, even though I know Chopped Cheese, remember we had a conversation with him, doesn't rate Bergvall that highly, but he's at least being balanced and giving him his credit. And it sounds like Chopped Cheese is saying he wants Mikey Moore to stay.
Look.
Do you think he has to stay, or do you think he has to go out on loan, Dave? Maybe after watching today.
It's really a difficult one. I think his performance today has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. Look, everyone knows I've been a huge fan of Mikey Moore. You know, I've backed him. I've been saying for the last 2 years, with the shit our wingers have produced, give this kid the opportunity. He may not be as quick as other people, but this guy is technically gifted. You know, he can cross a ball, he can score goals, he can shoot, he can pass, and he can do it on a consistent basis. It's not all about having the pace.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've almost felt like I've been a bit let down by him sort of this preseason, because I am of the opinion, if you're on the periphery of a squad, you don't get the same excuse as the superstar who comes back and builds his way up over the course of preseason. Mm-hmm. You have to come in and you have to be firing, fitter than everybody else, ready, and make an impact. And up to this point today, up until today's game, Williams-Barnett has had far bigger impact in terms of creating chances on this squad, and more memorable impact than what Mikey Moore has. Mikey Moore has almost drifted through a lot of these preseason games. But you put him out there on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the kid clearly fancies it. Playing at the Tottenham Stadium does something to this kid. His best performances in a Tottenham senior jersey has come at this stadium. He really rises to the occasion. And with some of the others slow getting back, with us having trouble in the transfer market, Mikey Moore is going to have another 1 or 2 games or another 1 or 2 weeks in around this first team to really impress himself on De Zerbi. Mm-hmm. So by the grace of God, after today, and because of the lack of forward business, he's been given an opportunity he may not have been afforded in other years. So I hope he takes this one. But it's all down to this kid. It's all down to him taking it. And by what I mean by taking it is impressing in training. Impressing, even if you get 10 minutes off the bench, taking it in a Premier League game, making an impact. It's down to him. He's been given a second chance, which doesn't come around often in football, I can tell you that. So it's up to him. But right now, until we sign someone, keep him around.
Mm-hmm. DJ AK, big up lads, bring on the new season. Come on, you Spurs.
Let's go.
Dark Sun G saying, including preseason, De Zerbi is now unbeaten at home.
Take that.
Interesting stat. Shem love you guys. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, Shem. Really, really kind. 27 months as well. Thank you, Shem. And he also had a funny comment saying, Lancashire just won the game for Middlesbrough. Great striker. Maybe we should think about signing him.
Jack, you sort of did make a point. You were very sort of disappointed with us selling them, and stuff like that. But look, the kid started off the season on fire. I do take it, that championship is a
If he
bit
forced
different.
the move, I agree with you. Not a lot we could have done if he forced the move.
No, but it's just when you're crying out for a goal scorer and you've sold a guy who's scored back-to-back games now, it does irk you a little bit. But you know what? In the long run, we might be proven right. That might tail off. He might end up hitting a dry spell. You don't know. But right now, I just think the biggest crime is without really giving an opportunity to see what he can do is letting him go. At least if you gave him 4 or 5 games, and it didn't work, you go, okay, fair enough. But that's where I become a lot disappointed. We didn't give him that opportunity. Like Richarlison and Solanke haven't been available for most of the season. We keep rolling them out opportunities. Why not give one to the kid?
Yep, I agree. Agree with all
look
that.
at that kid at Aston Villa. You would argue off the back of his performance in the Super Cup, he might be kept around.
That's just true. Like when I look at Lancashire, the shoulders on him, the size of him, I think he's got every build of a regular number 9. Like you're saying, who's to know what his ceiling is? Maybe it's not as high as we're making it out to be. But for right now, like he just looks like a guy that could be extremely useful and just as a decent option. And also just similar build to Solanke and Richarlison, just potentially better right now. Take some more comments. Dark Sun G saying, a full season of Roberto De Zerbi, a great manager. Come on, you Spurs, unbeaten.
I'm really excited with De Zerbi. Like,
I trust him so much, Dark Sun G. I've never trusted a manager like this for a while, to be perfectly honest.
Do you know why I trust him so much, though, Jack? And I don't know if it's the same as you. But, like, this club was looking for someone to come in with direction and a bit of leadership. We had none at any level last year. And he's done it. And his belief alone, when he walks in and says, guys, we're going to win 7 out of 7. I know everyone else, and a lot of Tottenham fans would have looked at that and gone, absolutely deluded, never going to happen. But when you're a winner like that, you almost have to have that self-belief in yourself to that point. And, then he comes in, he executes a formation that can start picking up results when most people said, this squad is dead. There's nothing in it. It's like, well, De Zerbi's come in, he's played players in the right positions, and we're getting more out of it, and we're getting results over the line. So it also can't be that bad either. And that's where the trust has come in. And then you look at some of the signings that he's personally made this summer, they've been quality.
Yeah.
So what's there not to trust about the guy? Every step since he's come in, he has earned that trust, even with the fan base. He's never come on like, Frank, it's your fault this club is in this mess because you won't sit there and praise us losing 4-0 every week and happy clap us off the fucking pitch. But then De Zerbi just comes in. He doesn't sit there and beg. I'll do things my way. My way is that good. People will follow. And they will follow like it's a cult. And he's already doing that. Big up De Zerbi.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hansy saying peanut butter and yogurt, very good for the blood flow. Good blood flow. Big up Hansy. Q7 saying the kid's third choice behind 2 bang average strikers. I don't blame him for not wanting to wait for an injury in a season. We have 1 game a week. All of a sudden, like, it is funny. Like that podcast I was talking about, now that he's scored, I remember making this comment at the time, like, why are we selling Lancashire? It seems like it's a great opportunity for him this season. And maybe it was a niche opinion or something, or wasn't really that relevant at the time, but it is funny now. People are kind of up in arms and on my side of things about it, because I agree. It's just like for Richarlison and Solanke, we know what we're getting. They're so average. We know exactly what type of players they are. Lancashire is more of a mystery. It's like, this kid looks good. He's in good form right now. He seems to back himself. Why not give him his opportunity? But I really do take into consideration Dave's point. If Lancashire pushed for the move, maybe some of it is on him then. It's not totally Spurs' fault in that case, because they should try to give him a chance this season. But if he didn't even want that chance and just wanted to go, tough. It's not really, we should have tried to convince him to stay, but it also, two can tango. Goes both ways.
I also think De Zerbi coming in and sort of sitting down with everyone going, do you want to be here or not, is a test of their self-belief as well, to a certain extent. And the ones that have maybe took the easy route out to walk out of the trouble and stuff like that are players that he doesn't want to go forward with anyway. You're taking the weak way out. You're taking the easy option out. And if it is the case that it was Lancashire that decided he wanted gone, He's took the easy route out rather than sitting there and backing himself. And to be honest with you, a player that backs himself, I'll have the utmost respect for them as long as it's not delusional. Dyer backed himself, but that was delusional. But for a player with talent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. DB, good to have you back with us, DB, saying, holy shit, I've been away so long. Good to have you, DB. Thanks for a lot of the
Big up,
kind
DB.
comments today. Been very, very kind
Good
from
to see you
also,
back too. His lawn must be in pristine condition, Jack.
yeah, the lawn beers. Tell me, probably some good lawn beers this summer, DB. Shemtan, good to have, and that's what I meant, sorry. Shemtan, Daniel, Steve D from earlier, really, really kind comments. Really appreciate you guys. One big happy family. And then Chase Mullins, thank you for being patient, Chase, saying tell again today. A lot of positive things. Really loving Tonali. He's going to have an amazing season for us. And to think of who we have coming back. Add Kudus, Kulu, Chavi to this. Better than sex. That's Chase Mullins. Love that. Love that. Matisse Tell, man, I have a huge soft spot for him. I had a huge soft spot for him towards the end of the season because I did start to see something in him. I think Dave pointed out, too, his character, even if he didn't show these signs of improvement, the kid has risen above a lot of adversity and has also maybe had times when a manager's overlooked him or dropped him unfairly, because we spoke about that last season. Thomas Frank kept doing that to players that were playing well. They would show something, and then he, for some reason, would leave them out the team. I don't think that's great for a young player, especially when they're in a bit of form. It's not easy to deal with that. I like Matisse a lot. And then now we're seeing him actually really improving. He did not have this in his game when he first came to us. He was not taking on players like this. He didn't have maybe that composure that he's starting to show a little bit more, not maybe in the finishing, but he's creating good chances for people. And he's has this ability to, I think, make the right decision, whether to cut inside, whether to go down the byline and put in a cross, take it down the outside. I really like his game right now. I just think he's looking a lot more clean, not as rough on the edges as maybe he did when he first came in. And to be honest, when he first came in, it was hard to see what was there in the player. Now, like we're seeing, there's a real talent in there. He's looking good.
No, he is. And as much as I think he's definitely benefited from Robertson coming in, a better player at left back, helping his game massively. I also think De Zerbi deserves massive credit. It's clear that when he walked in, he's pulled Matisse Tell aside at the end of last season and said, you're my guy going forward. We are going to need you to create us opportunities. And Matisse Tell was starting to do that towards the end of the season. But because of that belief that De Zerbi has put into him, and you've heard when he walked in, some of the way he was speaking to players, reminding them of their best periods and the way he wants to get them back to that. You almost see Matisse Tell taking that confidence and running with it. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned there, Jack, can go inside and outside. His both assists today, one went outside, one moved inside.
Good point.
And this is a guy that is now in confidence. And when you're confident, that's when you have lift-off as a player. That's when you can all of a sudden propel yourself into the limelight. Long may it continue. What we need from Matisse Tell now is not to have any injury disruptions. Mm-hmm. We need him to have a good 3-4 months, fully fit, continuing to play this way. And then you will see Matisse Tell go from a prospect to a player that you can rely on.
Well said. Tartan Spurs, thanks for the stream, lads. Always give me a lot of thoughts to take away with. Big up to the Best Spurs YouTube channel. That. Very, very kind.
Thank you, man.
And Chase, it'd be great to get Kudus back for the first game of the season, my man.
Yeah.
That's what we need. I'm thinking right now the front three with no new signings. If Kudus is fit, I would risk just playing him straight away. I would go Kudus on the right, or Charleston up top, Tell on the left. And then we don't know the case with Madison. I'm not sure if you risk it. Maybe you go with it's kind of an awkward midfield three, but maybe a midfield three of Tonali, Fernandez, and then maybe Bergvall instead of Gallagher at this moment in time. But Bergvall hasn't played that great as number 10, so it's hard to say. It's just who's going to play in the middle, I guess, right now is the question.
Well, I remember De Zerbi saying last year that he see Kudus playing through the middle, and I think quotes.
Who plays on the right for you? Who plays on the right? Maybe one of the new signings.
Maybe one of the new signings, or you Mikey Moore.
Yeah.
Look, Bergvall is not a number 10. He's not good enough. He's not going to create enough opportunities or impact games. Gallagher, the same thing. So I do think ultimately if Kudus comes back, he probably will move Kudus through the middle, which then opens up a spot for Mikey Moore. But you never mentioned Bentancur in any of them midfield names. So you have to Bentancur train now, Jack?
Definitely not. That just feels very... I mean, they're all class on the ball, to be fair. Maybe we don't need... Right now, with no real number 10, that's an obvious number 10. Maybe it is going to be something like that. Every time I'm thinking who could play a bit higher up the pitch. Whereas with
Yeah.
Tonali, Fernandez, and Bentancur, you're thinking they would all want to be the deeper midfielder in that case.
To be fair, though, to your point about a Gallagher or a Bergvall, in games where you're up against a better opposition and you want to press them high, like we were against Aston Villa last year, Conor Gallagher has his uses.
Mhm.
You know, same
He's a
with
disruptor.
Bergvall to a certain degree. Exactly. May not be quality in possession that you need, but they will disrupt the opposition's game plan, like Aston Villa away from home last year under the Zerbi, where Gallagher, that was sort of his breakout performance in a Tottenham jersey, if you would like, you know. So, although they may not do the creative side or stuff like that, they will do the work ethic side, which sometimes can be just as useful.
Absolutely. Dark Sun G, thank you again, Dark Sun G, for the support, saying a focus Van de Ven and Porro, who loves De Zerbi, will be massive. Porro, love the
Can't wait to see
reception he's
Porro.
been given. I think that's also, he's given a new contract. The love that they're showing him, as another World Cup winner. I think there's some great stat, Dark Sun G. You probably know the stat, but I think Spurs are now like something in the Premier League or something like that. Now have the most, it was like World Cup winners in a row or something. I think it was from Hugo
Yeah, I think we've
Lloris
had.
to Romero to now Porro or something.
Yeah.
I think we're the only Premier League team or something that's currently in that whatever stat that is or whatever I'm trying to say.
Off
You
the
know what
back
I
of
mean.
the last 3 World Cups, we've had
Yeah.
a World Cup winner in our team each time.
That was in
Premier
the
League.
starting
The only
11
team in
or
the
something
Premier
like
League,
that. Yeah. Big up, Dark Sun G. And then
up,
Van de
thanks.
Ven. With the back line, it's going to be curious. Does Van de Ven also just come straight back in? Because for
Yeah.
the most part, he is fit. But I think they also wonder, he's got those 80 million pound hamstrings they have to worry about, and they don't want to risk him. That's also, it's confusing with De Zerbi, and I don't blame him for not being transparent about it. But we're a little bit confused on who's injured, who's ready, who isn't. Because some of the guys, like maybe, I think it was Neil or someone mentioned that you would say some of them have, or I think it was Steve D said it feels like a bit of a shop window at the same time this preseason, and I would agree with that. That's probably why we haven't seen Fernandez or Madison or Kudus or Van de Ven, guys that might be ready to play, but what's the point of playing them in case of exacerbating an injury or something like that? So, like it, Dark Sun G. Yeah.
Obviously, the World Cup has hindered some of these guys getting back in time for a full preseason. But I almost wonder, because these players have been so injury prone over the last couple of seasons, is it a case where he's just giving them extra time off?
Yeah.
In terms of, to give their bodies a small bit of time to heal. Maybe that's what the medical advice has been to him. I think this is something we don't take into context sometimes is when it comes to these sort of medical decisions, these managers don't make the decision, but when they're in the press conferences, they get hammered for the decisions that have been made. But I wonder, has the medical advice just been, look, just these guys, they just need a break on their body. Just give them a little bit of break. And, when the season comes back around, then start integrating them back in.
If I were to make any changes to football, I would actually say that directors of football need to speak more in press conferences, and then
Yeah.
also medical personnel, whoever's the head of the medical department, needs to release a statement. They don't need to speak in front of a microphone if they don't want to, but please, just a statement or something. Why does it have to be the manager? every
Honestly,
time?
managers get ridiculed for like injuries and wrong medical decisions. And it's like, but they haven't gone to college for 8 years to study this shit. So you're aiming that at the wrong person. Aim it at the person that should be making the right decisions there.
It's not in their prerogative too to give super detailed answers. It doesn't help them sometimes when they're
We
yeah.
treat managers like the director of footballs. They're the scout. They're the medical department. They're Doris in the
doctor.
canteen. They're the doctor. They're Daniel Levy. They're Joe Lewis. You know what I mean?
De Zerbi had a funny quote, Dave, on Thursday. We were saying that even on the transfers, he was saying, I don't decide, the price of players that we sell. He goes, like, I already have enough on my plate as a manager as it is. And that's like, that's probably a fair point. Take another one from Dark Sun G here. Aiden, good to see you, Aiden Murray. Holy massive, absolutely massive. Friend of mine, Aiden Murray.
Big up, Aiden.
Dark Sun G saying, other managers kept passengers that gets them sacked. Wink, Steyer, Sanchez, Lo Celso, etc. However, De Zerbi doesn't want those passengers, which shows his mentality. It's a good comment, Darkson G, because
That's a great comment.
with the ruthlessness of the selling, I know we're talking about the Lancashires and stuff as maybe the ones who were a bit controversial, but you have to say with how ruthless we've been in selling these guys, the benefit of it is that you're just not holding on to these Lo Celsos, these Tanguy and Dombeles that could disrupt the camp, that could leave a bad feeling in the dressing room, knowing that they're kind of just freeloading and just sort of hanging around, just picking up the paycheck every week, don't really care about the project or the club all that much. It is important to have guys like this around that important to get those guys out of the squad that you don't really feel like want to be there, or their future is a bit iffy. They're not good enough. And you just delay. You would say one of the benefits of selling as many players as we have been, Spence, Romero, all these guys, is that if they have any doubts or if there's any rumor of them maybe wanting to go, have them leave. Get some money out of it. Don't wait until it's too late like we've done so many times before. So good comment, Dark Sun G.
Well, yeah, but this is because De Zerbi is in control of the squad.
He has power, yeah.
You know, we brought in Conte and Jose. They didn't have control of the squad. Daniel Levy did, and the director of football, which is absolutely disgraceful. You're going, you've won everything here. But when you come here, we're not going to do what every other club has done and give you control of the squad and the ins and the outs. We're going to control that. You're just going to manage, you know, on a day-to-day basis. Absolutely insane. And it almost had to get so bad for Spurs to start putting their faith back into a manager again and letting him have control. Because at the end of the day, he knows what tactics he wants to try and employ. He knows what type of players he needs to be able to make that effective. But then in years gone by, they've gone, well, don't worry, your director of football will take care of that, and you just make it work. And it's like, yeah, but you're trying to make fucking square pegs fit in round holes here. You know, whereas this year, it's a clean slate. If you're not good enough, you're gone. If you're not committed, you're gone. And then all of a sudden, you're left with everybody pulling in the same direction. And when everyone's pulling in the one direction, usually good things happen. But it's all about giving De Zerbi the control. Yeah. The manager to control, and that's the important thing here that we need to take from this moving forward.
100%. Great comment, Dark Sun G. Exactly.
And
it's
also
nice to see a manager
comment.
given power. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And also a great comment underneath that one as well, Jack, from Michael. Let's not miss that one.
I'm a huge fan. Subscribed for a while now. Just don't give tons of feedback all the time. Thanks, Michael, for listening, my man. Great name, by the way. Michael McCallaghan? McCallaghan?
Let's have a look here. Michael
McClanahan.
I'm going to say it's typed out like an Irish name, but the C and the L is confusing me.
Bit Scottish with the double C and the L.
Michael McClanahan. McClanahan. That's what we're going to go with.
Great name. Great name.
Big up, Michael. Or we could just go Michael. It's easier.
It was fun. You always got to give it an attempt. Always got to give it a go. Have a crack.
Anyone else want to keep glazing myself and Jack? We'll take it and make us feel good for the weekend.
We'd be happy to be here all night. DB from earlier talking about Mikey Moore. Just going to take a few more and then we'll start wrapping up. But DB was saying something about he knows Mikey Moore's auntie. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Knows Mikey Moore's auntie. He has been advised he may stay. So maybe that's why he stepped up today. Granted, likely will leave, but depending on incomings, he may stay. Interesting, DB. A little insight there.
Interesting. Very interesting. Make sure you tell the auntie we're real fans of Mikey Moore.
And then Dark Sun G saying this is why getting Senesi and Robertson has been helpful. Come on, you Spurs. Senesi, I'm excited about because I do really rate him in possession. I'm not kidding. Whenever I've watched him at Bournemouth, I thought he was genuinely up there with Romero. Is probably the best passing center back in the league, really. It's just he has, I think, both elements where, like Romero, he can play it over the top, play absolute peach of a dime, but then can play it on the ground, play it on the floor, and not really fire it into guys unnecessarily like you sometimes see center backs do. He just has that. It's like a classic center back that probably at one point wanted to be a midfielder, type of guy, and just has that, class about him in terms of playing out from the back. A very modern defender, I would say. So I'm excited about Senesi. With Van Hecke, we also know he's a very good passer of the ball, but he's supposed to, I think, be the more aggressive one. And we saw that a few times where he's just doing Romero things where he's on the side. You're like, isn't that Bergvall? And then you realize it's Van Hecke all the way up the pitch. Bergvall had to play center back for him a few times. So interesting. It'd be interesting, Dark Sun G. And then Robertson, he's had a shaky preseason, but I would say today was a much better from him. Much better from him.
I think Robertson is going to be a bit of a game changer at left back because I think last year, because of everyone else's deficiencies, everyone put everything on Pedro Porro. So much to the point we were building him up to be our goal scorer, our assister, our fucking passer, and do all the defensive work as well. Where it led to a lot of people getting disappointed in him. But I think having Robertson over on the left-hand side will also take a bit of that pressure off Porro. You might even see a better Porro because now you've got two fullbacks that can get forward and cross the ball from anywhere in and around a 40-yard radius between there and the byline accurately. It's going to be a game changer moving forward because I think a lot of times last year, because we were playing Spence at right back, he was curtailing how good, impactful Tell could be because he's always looking to recycle the ball. and everything just went down the right-hand side. And if you're a defensive team, you're like, excellent. As soon as the ball moves over there, squeeze it and nullify it. And that's what was happening. Now that you've got two marauding wing-backs going forward, Matisse Tell is producing, you get a right winger that starts producing. All of a sudden, you can go either way. So if your right side is off it a little bit that day, your left side will pick up the slack and you'll win games. Same way, if your left side is off it, your right side will pick up that slack that game, and it will see you through a season and win a lot more games. Just like Kane and Son. If Son was slightly off it, Kane would get the winner. If Kane was slightly off it, Son would go and get the winner. That's what we need. So I'm excited about Robertson coming in. His crossing all pre-season has been absolutely brilliant.
And then Michael saying, I forgot, McClanahan saying, I forgot Tongi existed. I apologize for that, Michael. It's poor form for us to be doing that, but maybe blame Dark Sun G. He brought him up first. Pick up Dark Sun G and Michael. King Hoddle saying, we probably needed that brush with relegation to force what looks like a very seismic shift in how we operate as a club. Not that you ever want to be in that situation in the first place, of course. That's well said, King Hoddle. And that no one wants that to happen to them, but plenty of times in life, wake-up calls, maybe a little scare here and there, and it kind of does motivate you to change things. Plenty of people work that way, where they sort of need that realization of like, shit, that was close, and get another chance. And I completely agree, King Hoddle. Well said. Very well said. Dark Sun G following up saying, saying we always have sell-on clauses on all of our outgoings. It's true. With sell-on clauses, though, Ali Gold did say that's only the case if there's profit on the sale of the next player. So if Lancashire sells for £20 million from us, if he goes to the next club for 35, 40 million pounds, we get percentages of that, I believe is what Ali Gold was trying to explain. But in Lancashire's case, it's very likely if he ends up firing for Middlesbrough, he'll probably stay there another season. And then if he does well in the Premier League, he'll likely then probably move on after that. Maybe back to Spurs. You never know. Dark Sun G saying, also, De Zerbi wants players who focus on the club than the country.
Can I take that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's totally true, Dark Sun G. I think he's an Italian, too. I'm pretty sure the Italians are very passionate about their national team and wouldn't disregard a player's love for their country and wanting to play for them.
I don't understand the narrative. My whole lifetime supporting football, players have always preferred love their country over their club.
They're patriotic.
It's from where they're from. It's where they grew up. You know what I mean? It's their love. They're representing their country. They've always had pride, to go and represent their country. I don't understand this new narrative. I do think it's born out of that. In modern day society, there are some people in their countries that hate their own countries because of various different things and whatever, and maybe it's becoming a popular thing. But in general, my whole lifetime, everyone has been proud to represent their country, and that doesn't matter at what sport or at what level. You get an international call up, it's pride, and you can't wait to go. It's just a normal feeling.
In a lot of these countries too, it's almost an act of service. It's their duty, right? Like it's they're representing their nation in the sport that their country adores and loves, right? That anybody would take their position to be there. And you see the reactions of these players too, just the emotion. Even Senesi, right? Senesi, a late bloomer, you would say, in his career in terms of, now being at a high level. When he got that call up to Argentina, he just breaks down in tears, when he gets it, right? A guy that is not even going to get many minutes for Argentina, but is just going to be there with the team. I agree with Dave. I think it is. I have no issue with the guy being very passionate about their national team and wanting to play for them.
The difference is you get paid to play at your club, your national team. I know they get money through sponsorships and all now, but generally there's no financial incentive for you to be going on international duty. It's done out of love and wanting to represent your country. It's different. It's a different kind of love. I just think this whole conversation is being blown out of, proportion because of Romero specifically at Tottenham Hotspur. But, there's been plenty, it's just an honour to represent your country. I think it's just a non-nonsense talking point that people that don't understand it.
And he follows up by saying, also known as the Cootie type of players who save his body. I disagree, Dark Sun J. I know a lot of people probably share your opinion, to be fair. I think there's probably a decent split in the fan base. A lot of people would agree with you, Dark Sun G. It's just me personally. I don't believe in it. Also, too, I think people maybe conveniently try to forget some of the times when Romero has shown that love and that passion on the pitch for us, right? When he's battling Harry Maguire in the final minutes of the Europa League final, the reaction he showed when we beat Frankfurt, him and Ange nearly ripping each other's heads off, with the celebration of getting through in that 1-0 win against Frankfurt, where they're clearing away every single cross. Dave and I were having heart attacks from that game. I think it's sometimes, even Romero's message, I thought that was true, actually, what he said, in that, yes, I've had negative moments. Yes, I've had bad moments, but every single time I've tried to put my all out on the pitch, despite the mistakes I may have made, whatever. And I believe that. Romero has been an absolute knucklehead at times and has made huge mistakes on the pitch, but I don't doubt his commitment to winning, his commitment to wanting Spurs to do well. People may disagree, but I think he's a very passionate guy, and then he's made massive mistakes, and that's why I think people confuse maybe the mistakes that he's made that have cost us games and whatnot with, his supposed loyalties or whatnot. I think he is a loyal player. He makes mistakes, and is probably part of the reason why we're letting him go. Is he's been bad at times, but I don't question his commitment, to be honest. Romero.
Like, I really don't understand it, because, like, when it comes to Christian Romero, there's plenty of other things you can pull up to have a conversation around whether Romero is the right player or not for Tottenham and moving forward and stuff like that, or is he as good as people say? But whenever them conversations come around, it always reverts back to, oh, well, he loves his country over his club. Hate to break it to you, nearly every professional footballer player loves their country over their football club. Clubs are just seen as commodities. There's no loyalty when it comes to football clubs. Wherever the biggest pay packet is where these guys go. But that conversation seems to be lost, when it comes to loyalty towards clubs. All of a sudden, we expect this supreme loyalty to our football club in a day and age where people only come if you're willing to pay the biggest buck. But also, with Romero, how did that ever become the biggest talking point? It's just a non-runner for me. There's plenty of other things you can talk about when it comes to that guy, about whether he's good enough for world class. Then picking up that one, for me, that one was just picked up over people that had an agenda against Romero and didn't like him, personally.
That's how I feel. I just think it's just people who don't rate him as much as maybe others do, and that's fine. But then it's kind of like I think it's an unfair stick to beat him with, personally. I think there are other sticks you can beat him with. Dark Sun G saying we can finally rest Van de Ven and Udogie, which was needed. Yeah, true. Udogie. If it's true at all that Udogie has picked up another injury, I will be furious. I'm actually considering at this point.
But is it his fault, though, Jack? Like, he came off the back of an operation and was thrusted straight back in there.
True, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then
when we had no fullbacks. Yeah.
Point. And then he broke down again. Do you know what I mean? It's
true.
Same way with Vicario. Everyone doesn't like Vicario now, but I will always sit there and say it's not all his fault. If we had the right players in backup positions, you could actually give these people time to heal their bodies properly so that they come back in the best of form. What we actually do is go, you're 40% ready today? Grand.
Yeah.
There's a painkiller. Get out there and play through the pain. It's madness.
It's true, actually. And when you think about it, how many guys have come to this club that were never injury prone at all, and then all of a sudden became injury prone? And then Solanke. I mean, so there is a question to be made that maybe some of these guys are just rolled out of desperation, and then it just makes the thing even worse. And then to your point of maybe why, and Dark Sun G is saying it, maybe the reason we were resting Van de Ven, we're resting Udogie, Madison, Kudus, these guys, like, some of these footballers do need an extended break. Like, they just need time off. Let their bodies recover. They don't need to just be rolled out game in, game out like robots. It's true.
And
Good
also,
point.
like, think about if you're Destiny Udogie, right, and you come back and you're feeling something in your leg and you can't do things at 100% and you can only do things at 50%, straight away before you even kick the ball, your performance is impacted because you have to move differently, you have to run differently, you can't open up your body at full speed the way you would to be able to evade players. So then all of a sudden you have to think about passing options and other things that maybe you might not necessarily have to think about when you're at 70, 80, 90% fit. So it does impact your game to a certain degree. So I am going to be fair there with Destiny Udogie. It's not all his fault. When he had a massive surgery, was out for ages, and we rushed him straight back in because we didn't buy another left back. It will never be his fault that he keeps breaking down, in my opinion. Especially at Tottenham anyway.
Uncle David, thank you for the support. I do see your member's badge, by the way. Thank you, Uncle David.
Appreciate that, Unc.
Suffering with tonsillitis in bed. Hope everyone is well. Sorry about that, Uncle. Hopefully everything's good with you, my man.
As well. But big up, Unc. Hopefully, you get better, and hopefully you're in full health for Tottenham versus Brentford next weekend, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the support, by the way, Dark Sun G. I believe you, though. Dave and I feel very differently about the Romero thing. but I know a lot of people do share your opinion. To be
100%.
fair to you, just as like we said with Steve D, we're men's of opinion. We're gonna listen to what you have to say, but we'll give our own. Plenty of times might not always agree, but really appreciate everybody that's been with us tonight. Really generous support.
Fun.
Thank you for being our companions for these preseason games. Only one more left until the start of the Premier League season. Get ready here, everybody. 1 week away. Hopefully some movement in the transfer area, please. I know Mikey Moore stole the show today, but please, we just need some bodies at this stage. Yeah. Just need somebody. And hopefully get some news around that end. So thanks to all the support. Thanks to everybody who's with us. Really, really kind words. Just nice vibes as well from everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks to Chase, Darksun G, Shem Tan, Daniel Larson, celebrating some massive milestones with memberships. Adrian Chia, it's good to have you back as well. That Richie Basuma kit comparison was really funny.
Yeah, that
from
was
earlier. Shem Tan, celebrating milestones. So thank you guys so much. Really generous support today. And we'll see you all tomorrow for the behind doors friendly against Hoffenheim again. At the training ground with the horrible camera angles, which I'm not looking for. This was a blessing.
And an earlier time for you, Jacko, as well. Yeah. A lot earlier.
We'll have to get through one more, but it's not been suffering at all. It's been some lovely football. We'll see you next time, everybody. As always, come on, you Spurs.
Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.